Welcome, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Another edition of the Stretch Run. I'm your host, Justin. My good buddy, Oldy, here is my co-host. And today, perfect time of the year, EquinEdge user, razor sharp picks. I appreciate you, buddy, and joining us. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Appreciate the invite on the show. I'm a big follower of the show on EquinEdge, and I love you guys handicapping styles. Appreciate being on, and I'm ready to win some money.
Yeah, sweet. Oldy, how you doing, brother?
Still fighting the COVIDs, but I'm alive. I'm here. It gives me something to aim for.
Yeah, well, good. I was super excited because traditionally we always start at about 2 p.m. Eastern, and Gulfstream still this time of year has been like, well, we're going to have the first, race, whatever, 6, 5, whatever it is, like 5 minute or 2:05. And they kicked it back, which is awesome. So we're actually going to start off with Laurel. That is my pick 5. I think this is a tough sequence, to be honest. But we'll cruise through this, and then we want to make sure to get to Gulfstream as well. But everybody, we appreciate you joining. Happy Friday. It's almost the weekend. But Angela, good to see you. I haven't seen Angela in a long time. Jeff, John, everybody, it's a pleasure. So, Oldy, I think in the first leg here, we were very similar. That is Oldy's ticket. You're double. No single, but 2x2. Talk to me about this first race.
I thought this first race was pretty wide open. It could easily go to the chalk in the 2, but I like the 6 some. I thought the 9 coming off the pace here might have a real chance here, because there are a lot of horses that seem to want to be up around the lead. And the 10 being outside speed at Laurel can sit right off and might just be able to press and go by is what I'm thinking. But if you look at it from an EquinEdge standpoint, the 2 is your E top pick. The 6 is your second choice, but not your second win percentage. And usually when I see that, it's either you single the 2 or you spread here. So I spread a little bit.
Yeah, the 2, a bit of a money burner, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this horse has, but I think goes over to the Nest barn, if I remember correctly. Oh, it's been with Jamie Nest. So, yeah. Razor, anything that stood out here for you in race 5 at Laurel?
Yeah, I see the juicers on the 2, so I'm gonna stay off that one. Shout out to my guy Delaware. Mr. Jamie Ness. I like a price here. I like the 10 Hagler. Morning line 15-1 right now. It's around 8-1 ish.
Yeah. I mean, nice drop there.
Like the 10. Good. Coming off a good workout, bullet workout. So I like that price on the 10. See if I can get paid here.
I thought this horse was interesting. The Apprentice jumps on, which is only 1%, but no, obviously never a good thing, but I included this horse. You have a huge morning line angle, Razor, like you talked about. I mean, if the 2 doesn't win here, I think a lot of people could win. Oldy, the only horse I also added the 1, the EquinEdge long shot. I don't know. I can't remember if other pace scratched out of here, but I thought this horse, if it actually does go to the lead, which I don't know if the horse will, I hope that they do, and they don't decide not to. But I really hope, based on the pace figure, that this horse sends, because it does have, about a 13. Am I doing my math right? Yes, 13-point advantage. I don't love the win percent, but I thought it was a little bit interesting.
No, I agree, and I agree with Razor as well. The 10's also taking a pretty nice drop here, and the class relief's definitely going to help.
Yeah, I mean, this horse has the best SOR at the distance, and overall best SOR as well. So I like it, Razor. All right, let's go to race 2, Oldy. I spread here. I know that you spread here as well. I thought this was another tough race. I did end up liking that EquinEdge long shot a little bit, and I thought the 8 horse would also get a good trip, as well as the 1. So the EquinEdge picks, I thought, had this nailed down, but you also added a couple horses.
Yeah, so I added the 5, who is 20%, is 1 for 10 though at the lifetime, but has been really close recently, running against similar SOR. This might be the time that that horse gets home. And I also added the 4, who's at 8-1 but 13%, and is your top pace number, or second to top pace number, but very lightly raced, and is one of those horses that may show it can do something a little differently here, and is coming off of a decent win, 2 back.
Yeah, no, for sure. Razor, what do you think here? Another difficult race in my mind, but where are you landing?
I like the spread here as well. I like your my top horse would be the 3, Peach B with Q. I had the 3, 5, 7, 8, and I was looking at the 1 as well. So I think this is a wide open race. But I like the price on the 3, Peach B with Q. Raced 4 times, 2 first. 1 time at this distance, didn't hit the board. So I hope this horse can rebound here, 5.5 furlongs.
Yeah, this horse will probably get overlooked. Anytime I see a low win percent, but then a big difference in morning line, I would guess this horse doesn't get bet down to 5-1. I would not be surprised to see this horse go off at 15-1 or 20-1. So I included this horse in my ticket. I did think it was interesting. My one thing I commented, this horse might need the lead, and not to say that it won't get it though, to be honest. This does become this was the horse that Ness picks up this horse. It wasn't claimed, but ended up in the Ness barn somehow. So a little bit interesting coming from Penn. But I spread here too. I added the 7 as well, which may be on the lead, but I thought this was a tough race. Added some horses to come off the pace, and then also a lot of the pace horses. So let's go to race number 7. Oldy, you are too deep here with the 2 and 3, which I both think are players, but you couldn't narrow here. I see the 5, I think, was the original favorite, scratched here. So I think changed the dynamic and probably made this race a little more open. But what were your thoughts here?
So the 5 was my original single. So you're 100% right. The 2 is your top pace number, right there alongside the 3 in SOR. It is off a claim, first time Jamie Ness, and this goes back to these last 2 horses we've been discussing, the 3, the last race, and the 2 here. Ness is, for whatever reason, is much better off a claim than he is first time Jamie Ness when it's not off a claim. So that horse is likely to be first time Ness juice there. And then you have the 3, who, again, I mentioned this earlier, is the best horse in this race if this horse can still run. So this horse has been off since 2021, since November 27th of 2021, but is a non-graded stakes winner. And something happened in that last race, but I went back and looked at the works, and the horse was comebacking for a summer comeback last year. So not that, must have not been that serious of an injury, and then must have gotten hurt again because it just stopped working, and it was working bullets when it came back at that time. And now I don't love the works, but nobody else is really running with it. So it's hard to tell when it goes a mile and nobody else is working a mile distance.
Yeah, I mean, I came to the same conclusion here. I mean, this is a big layoff for this horse. So I was 2 and 3. I do worry a little bit about this race, to be honest, on my ticket. I didn't necessarily like the 6, who was not the EquinEdge long shot originally. The 4 was, and I, in a way, I really struggle with this sequence, to be honest. But I ended up adding the 7 as well, mainly because it was the second EquinEdge pick, and I feel like when I leave this horse out, it really burns me. I originally was looking at including the 4 horse, which is going to be a big price, to be honest, at 18%, but I tried to go a little bit slim here because I struggled, to be honest, in the last race, which if anybody looked early this morning, the last race at Laurel Park this morning had a first-time starter at 43% to win. That was a 6-1 morning line for EquinEdge. And I was going to single that horse 100%, but it scratched. That was so like disappointed. I love those situations, but it scratched, which was a bummer. So Oldy, both are single scratch, but I think again, I think this is a tough sequence. If the chalk doesn't win the first couple legs, I think that this thing could pay really well, but we will see. So I singled in the next leg. I know that Oldy, you singled as well, or you didn't single the next leg, but you went slim. We are using different horses though. Tell me a little bit about the 2 and 5.
Yeah, so I thought there's a lot of speed in this race, and I didn't want anybody who's up on the pace, so I tossed the 7, 6, 3, and 4 completely from my ticket. So I used the 2, who's 10%, and your second choice, and the 5, who's the first choice. They're both kind of lightly raced and could improve here, and I think they're both going to get an ideal pace setup here.
Yeah, Razor, what do you think? I actually think the 7 is going to sit an amazing trip, and this horse can get the lead or sit off the pace. But Razor, what do you think?
My top horse here is the 1 Dixie Draw. This horse has raced 12 times at this distance. Been in the money 9 of them with 5 wins. So that's my top horse, the 1.
Yeah, I could see this horse. I like this horse, and it's shown an ability to kind of stalk right off the pace. It comes, this horse has changed barns quite a bit lately, but I thought this horse was really interesting, to be honest. The morning line didn't necessarily love it, but I think this horse has a shot. So I singled Momos, who I don't know, maybe this horse was the long shot when I originally looked. I don't remember it being the long shot, but my main angle here is that this horse is going to go out to 8 furlongs and has been racing at 7. It's never raced 8 furlongs, and the GSR does drop, but it's not too much, so I'm not too concerned about it. My main angle here is this horse 2 back when Barbosa rode, who's going to predominantly ride for Trombetta, I think, just based on what I've seen, or he comes back here. The crazy thing about this too is he gets off of the 5 horse, which Jamie Rodriguez jumps on, but he only hits at 12%, only 1 for 8 here. So and Barbosa's 18%. That very similar to his hit rate, and it's above Trombetta. Oldy, I'll be curious here on how much pace we really see. I'm not sure how hot it's going to be, was my main concern. So I think the 7 from an outside post is just going to set a good trip, but we will have to see. I think it'll be a good race. I just really struggled to find anywhere to single, to be honest.
No, I agree. Right. I agree on the singling point. Once your single and my single, which were the top 2 singles on the card, I felt like scratched there. I just couldn't find a single at all.
Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to single too is this last race is brutal. This is not a great 12-5 maiden claimer, to be honest. We ended up both going 4 deep, but I don't. Razor, if you've looked at this race, I'm curious on your perspective, because I really struggled to find any horse I liked, to be honest, when the 2 scratched. But Razor, if you've looked at this, I'd be curious on your thoughts.
Yeah, like you said, this one's wide open. The only horse that I was kind of looking at for a price was the 5, Destined to Dance. Big price at 20 to 1. Just like you said, this race is wide open. The other price that I liked, which might be a smaller of a favorite, was the EquinEdge long shot, the 6 5-star Fran. The horse has raced 7 times lifetime, but 1 time at this distance and did get 2nd place. So I like the 6 here at a price.
Nice. Oldy, I don't really have a top pick. I just had to add horses that I thought could win, and I thought some of these, from a win perspective, definitely could show up and win today, whether it was a 6, 7, 8, and 9. I think you thought the same thing.
Yeah, and I had an issue with the 5 specifically. It ran a week ago in a maiden special weight. So that tells me that this horse can't run at all, that they put it in a week later for a 12-5 tag instead of, going second time out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's 1%. I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised to see anybody win this race, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if no horse is running and they're kind of just walking to the finish line here. But
yeah,
that's what I normally a second time starter dropping out of maiden special weight into a weak maiden claimer is a horse you'd have to use, and the system recognized this too.
Yeah. All right, we have 3 minutes to post, but we only have 17 minutes till Gulfstream. So let's we all put a ticket together. So Oldy, why don't you kick us off? That's your ticket. You're singling it in the last leg, which it doesn't surprise me, because I think this horse is could be a lot of people's singles. And the 5 horse, I know Razor and I played against this horse a little bit, but talk to me a little bit about the 5 in race 9.
Yeah, I did not want to single this horse, but I just couldn't find anything else I liked here. The 8 is the only one that I even remotely secondarily liked, and that was off the GSR increase. But if I go back to the other dirt efforts for this horse against weaker were poor efforts recently, and so I just couldn't use it. I couldn't find another horse that I would use here. I'm aware the 5 is 2 of 16 at the distance, or not at the distance lifetime, but I think it could sit a perfect trip. It was claimed by Safi 2 back. It has a second and a first since that claim, and is dropping from 12-5 non-winners of 2 to 6.25 non-winners of 3 lifetime. So it just, finding something else to use here was very difficult for me, that I thought actually had a chance to win.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's Oldy's ticket. We'll come back to this, y'all. I just wanted us to talk a little bit of Gulfstream before this Laurel race goes off. They have about 1 minute. Razor, this is your ticket here. No single, but in the first leg, you went 2 deep with Best Dreams and Rosie Holiday. I could see people singling Best Dream on some tickets. Any thoughts here, Razor, in this first race, race 5?
Yeah, I wanted to single the 2 as well, and I think the only other horse that had a chance was the 3, winning back-to-back races, going for 3 in a row. So I think that was the only threat to the 2. So I didn't want to lose by the 3, so I added both horses.
Yeah, it's an interesting sequence. So I didn't when I went through this, I will tell everybody I was going to single the 8 in race 6. And it's the top EquinEdge pick. My concern is that I think there are a couple other players here, specifically, obviously, the 3 who has the top GSR, I think can run. So to be honest with everybody, I singled a 20-1 shot. I singled the 1 in race 8. I think this is an insanely tough race. Why this horse is 20-1, I have no idea, because it shouldn't be. Yeah. Emma Jane rides. I think this horse is going to get a really good trip. The rail, and I did not watch this morning, but the rail is at 63 feet. So that's the farthest it's going to go on the turf course at Gulfstream. I would not be surprised to see Luis Saez wire the field. My hope is that they go a little bit quick and Luis tries to, and Emma Jane is able to set a trip. This horse has only raced 12 times. And to be honest, when you look on the GSR SOR tab, this horse has a significant advantage from SOR perspective, as well as 2 second place finishes. here on the turf. So I think she's going to get a great trip. It's pretty risky. This horse has raced really well, in some 60s at the end of last year, but it is coming off a layoff, but it is working well. So I would have loved to have seen this horse in an EquinEdge pick because that would make me even feel more confident. But instead of singling the 8, I ended up singling the 1. All right.
Yeah. So my only comment on that, Justin, is that with the rail out, inside closers have done really poorly.
Yeah, I don't see her closing. I think she's going to sit off the speed. But, I mean, I appreciate your comment. So
You're like, gosh.
let's,
And, either I'm right or I'm wrong. When we disagree, either it ends up as a big winner for you. We're off here.
Arrowan and Hagler on the outside, and Spring the Beast from the inside draw. Bahama Channel settles back in 4th position. There's Pelota on the inside under Jamie Rodriguez racing along in the 5th spot. And they're followed by Excalibur and then King Nate. Trailing the field is riding Cloud 9. 8 or 9 lengths will cover that field down the backstretch. Spring the Beast just a neck in front from Hagler on the outside, prompting the issue as they run past the 5 ace. Right there is Bahama Channel is racing in 3rd position. Pelota's up close there, just 2.5 for the lead, racing in 4th, heading into the turn. Arrowan is next, then riding Cloud 9 and King Nate racing back of the pack with Excalibur trailing the field. 3 lined up across the track into the far turn run. Spring the Beast is right there as they round the far turn. Bahama Channel and on the outside Hagler and Arrowan sent along 4 deep. Pelota just waiting at the top of the stretch. Pelota loaded at the quarter pole, just needs a place to go. They make that turn for home, and it's Spring the Beast. Pelota keeps
rail,
that inside
probably.
and tries to scoot on through as they turn for home, and indeed does take second at Spring the Beast. Spring the Beast, Pelota pushing through down to the inside with 1 furlong left to go. Here comes Jamie Rodriguez and Pelota. Pelota's in front from Spring the Beast in second. Outside is Arrowan reaching along. It is Pelota in front. 5 races at Laurel Park today. 5 wins Jamie Rodriguez. Pelota.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Ends up being chalk. And I mean, it's not a surprise here. I thought that they might be able to shut that horse off, but they let the horse up to rail and was able to just slide through. But
then again, the 1 would have won if, that would have helped you, not me. I did not have the 1.
Yeah, the 10 Razor ran a great race, but just didn't have enough.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gotten his way a little bit too.
Yeah, the 6 horse, that was a tough race for the 6. That horse was racing in between the whole time. It was like leg weary coming down the stretch there, but that was tough. We got 10 minutes till Gulfstream. I know that the 2 horse in the first race is just getting kind of smashed at the moment. Razor, you looked at potentially singling this horse. Oldy, you spread the way that I did. I ended up pressing the all button here because I thought this horse might be vulnerable, mainly because I think the pace is going to be like really, really hot here. What was your thought?
That was my thought too. And I looked at the 7 who's coming out of, I'm sorry, not the 6, the 7, not the 7, the 6, who's coming out of grade 3 races, and thought with the class relief here and with the potential pace, the 6, was a horse that I could not leave off a ticket.
Yeah, no, for sure. I got distracted for a minute. Sorry, I'm a segue. Like, we are going to sidetrack for a minute, but if anybody's watching basketball, Xavier was playing, just getting crushed all game, and they actually have, what are they, within 4 points, I think? Yeah.
My screen has it as 7.
Oh, no, it's 4, and dude almost just made a sweet layup, but got fouled and is going to the free throw line. So they were down by 11.
Either I'm behind or you're behind, because right now Kennesaw State has the ball and is up 6, actually, not 7.
So mine says 6 minutes left.
Yeah, I must be behind.
Oh,
so I'm at 6:38 right now, and it's not showing me I'm not live.
Yeah, I got 6:05 left in the second half. Xavier's down by 3, 61-58.
Yep. Yeah. It's going to be a good one. All right. We'll come back to basketball, but we will stick on Gulfstream for a minute. I'm with you. I mean, I do think, Oldy, that the pace could be hot here. To be honest, which is why I spread. But the most likely winner could be the chalk, the 2. The EquinEdge long shot is taking no money. Music City Star. This horse has the pace too, so it's going to be interesting. Not that I would expect Best Dream to completely give up, but the Best Dream has, but versus much tougher. So I would expect her to hang here. But the 4 is interesting. If this horse is able to clear somehow, which most people, it is 26%, right? So I think it's an interesting long shot, to be honest. It's the longest price in the field, but from a morning line perspective, shows 7-2 for EquinEdge.
Makes sense. I mean, the other thing is Beth's Dream, even though most of her wins have come on the lead, she did come close against a non-graded stakes company of rating or battling on the lead and not having the lead and almost getting there.
Mm-hmm. She is crazy. I mean, she's a nice horse, so it'll be interesting here on what happens in this first race. So let's go to race number 6. Yeah, main special weight on the turf. Razor, you ended up going, I'm trying to find your ticket, 368 here. I didn't see the 6, but this horse is 10%. I thought the 8 was a potential single in my mind. Who did you hear? Who did you like best?
I just put up a double in the chat. I like the 3 and the 8 the next race. So I just did a little double here, try to beat the 2. So I'm going to go 3 with the 3-8 next race.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, the 3 horse has this big GSR, has been racing. The morning line doesn't love this horse, but it has the top win. It really improves from last out. It is coming off a layoff. The same with the 8. The 3's Gargan Messiah, the 8's Chad Brown. I think Irad on the 10 horse is interesting and is probably going to get overlooked. I think could be one of those horses that people say, oh, how did Irad go off it? I don't know what price he'll go off at, but it's going to be a bit of a price. But Oldy, you ended up going 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 here. You added lots of coverage. Tell me about your picks.
Yeah, so I went 1 through 3, 6 through 8, actually. There's an update.
1
through 3, 6 through 8.
Oh, okay. Did something scratch?
Yeah. Let's see. No, I just added.
Oh, okay. So
there.
you played 150.
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool. You're good.
Yeah, so the one being the long shot, it's a maiden race. I did not want to leave off there. So I added that horse there. I did not love the work note on the 8. And that's one of the reasons I chose to spread here. I also thought that the 7 has a chance to wire the field at 2%. And the 7's actually came really close. It's come really close twice to wiring fields. And, I just looked at this horse and said, with the rail out and, not a ton of other speed here, this horse could get to the lead and go gate to wire at a huge price, which, does happen every once in a while at Gulfstream, especially on the turf.
And the rails out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. That's why I really like the 8. I thought this horse would sit a really good trip with Jose, but yeah, I mean, I could see a price here. I really could. So
yeah, I'm not sure that the 8 will pass anybody. Then I also thought the Clement horse, who does have a really nice work, who's the first time starter, is only listed at 5%. But Clemenza is very dangerous with first time starters on the turf. I thought that horse as well could produce a pretty good price.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my last cut, was that too.
Yeah, I could see it. Joel gets aboard. I mean, from a GSR perspective, this horse is bred to go 2 turns. So I for sure could see it. I think, that horse is going to have to stay close. Joel can't drop back 12 lengths with the rail out. And, they have 9 horses here. I think that would make it really hard, but I'll be curious on the trip that he gets.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is just, I looked at the 8, I looked at the 3, the 3 could win. In my mind, the 3 doesn't really want to pass anybody.
Yeah. The only thing we don't, to be honest, we don't really know. The crazy thing about this though, is the 3, Oldy, I don't think I've ever seen this, to be honest. I don't think I've ever seen a 60 maiden special weight. The 3 has one. The 8 has a 62 maiden special weight SOR.
Yeah, we'd have to go back and look at that field. But, I have a note on the 8 that it pressured the lead in that race and gave it up.
Yeah, and if the race is truly a 62, either one of these horses should win this race easy. But I think we'll find out, right?
Yeah.
But that's pretty wild. I have seen like 56 and 58 maiden special weights, but that I have not seen in the 60s. That's probably the first time ever. So we have 2 minutes. Just as a reminder, that is Oldy's ticket. He's singled to the 5 in the last. That is Razor's ticket. He is not singled. He has 2 deep here in the first leg to 2-3. Let's go to leg race number 5, Razor. You are 4, 6, 7 here. The EquinEdge picks. Any thoughts here?
Which race you talking about? 7?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Race 7, not race 5. Yep.
I had the 4, 6, 7 here. My top horse was the 4. This horse crapped the bed last time out at Tampa Bay. So I'm hoping this horse can rebound here. This horse has raced 45 times lifetime and been in the money 26 of them. So it's a pretty good percentage of that horse being in the money. And then you got this distance. The horse has raced 8 times at this distance and been in the money 6 of those times. So I like the 4 here as my top horse. And then you got Lopez aboard as well. So one of the top jockeys.
Yeah, I thought that horse was interesting. Oldy, you are only 4, 7. Any thoughts here? You obviously couldn't get away from a single. I ended up not liking any of the scratch horses, and I couldn't decide between all of these others. But any thoughts?
I agree with Razor. The 4 was my top pick. I nearly singled that horse. If I found anything else I liked in race 9, the 4 would have been my single.
Yeah, I ended up spreading here 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. So I used all. I really struggled here, to be honest. I thought some of these horses were really interesting. The 2 was the EquinEdge long shot at one point, and then it flipped to the 6, which obviously kind of confused me. But probably with the scratches, I would guess. But it's interesting. All right, we are about a minute away, I'm guessing. They're not walking to the gate yet, but I singled the 1 here. Oldy, I totally understand your comment. I think she's going to sit close. I think this last race, if you toss it out in a 14-horse field at Woodbine, not that I think there's some back class here. When you look at Royal Spirit, he, raced really well at Saratoga and Aqueduct in 60s and 58. So I think this horse is sneaky, and I love that it's 15% to win. In my opinion, I think this is a fairly open race. So I look to try to single there. You, Oldy, ended up adding coverage, which confirmed for me that it was fairly open. You added the 1, but also have 3, 5, 6, 8.
Correct. So, I thought this was a spread race. The 8 Irish Lace is your first choice. The 7 is your second choice. They both could win. They're both okay horses. Might be the best way I want to say that, but I don't think that either of them have to win.
Yeah.
I'm on the wrong. Sorry, I'm on the wrong. That's Master of the Senate, and I think Master of the Senate is your likely winner, the 8.
Yeah.
If
Gonna
the if things open up properly, if not, I think it's the 5 or the 3 on the front end.
Yeah. All right. They're
Sorry.
going to the gate. We didn't quite get all the way through, but we mainly did because Oldy, you covered the last race with your single. I see Scotty's chiming in, but Mark, Scotty mentioned there is going to be a new coaching class Sunday nights where it will cover Los Al, which is awesome. I love, but I totally agree with you, Mark. You know, EquinEdge is like insanely good for quarter horses. I think people have heard me say this before, but I think my highest ROI, to be honest with you, might be at Los Alamitos. The pace number in GSR are insane.
Take the outside gate.
All right, here we go.
They're at the post. And they're off. Level beginning. Soon after the start, it was Music City Star ridden hard for the early lead. That's not good news for Best Dream, who has to angle off the heels of the new leader and race on from second. Jungle Juice is third. It's a quick early pace. From fourth, Rosie Holiday, and the late-running Soul of an Angel has pace ahead of her, last of the lot. Out of the chute onto the main track, Edgard Zayas and Music City Star clear by almost a length. Best Dream is second. Jungle Juice is third. The quarter time was 23-3. These top 3 have 7 on Soul of an Angel, who improves outside of Rosie Holiday. They run to the half-mile point, and with the advantage, it's Music City Star. Best Dream working way out the center after Imagine Jose Ortiz trying to get her to relax out there with Jungle Juice in third. Still out the back are Soul of an Angel and Rosie Holiday, and still up front is Music City Star. 45-4 for the opening half mile. Around the far turn they go. Music City Star by a length and a half. Best Dream appeared to relax while angled in the clear, and she's now taking up the slack nicely. A gap of 5 to Jungle Juice. Haven't heard from the back markers yet, as Best Dream has ran to the lead. There's a quarter of a mile left to go, and Best Dream leads by 5 lengths. Now make it 6. Music City Star, Jungle Juice second and third. Soul of an Angel is underway with a ton of ground to make up and a very classy Daughter of Jess's Dream to catch, and she can only think about it because it'll never happen. Best Dream in high gear and long gone. It's Best Dream and jockey Jose Ortiz. He's posing for the picture, and gears are down. Best Dream in a romp.
Well, she won easy. Well done, Razor, going slim there. You know, only needed 2 horses. She was by far much the best.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of people probably singled that one. That should have been a single.
Yeah. I mean, that she romped. I mean, I don't even know if he ever took the stick out, to be honest. I think she just went around the track in hand. It was interesting, though. She didn't break great, and then he got her out, and then I obviously heard Pete say, I mean, got her able to relax and just sit off the speed. So
it's a nice little workout.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't see horses that wide down the Gulfstream backstretch like that very often.
Well, especially on the dirt, it was very strange. Like, but obviously, I mean, Jose, kudos to him, was able to get her to relax and just sit. And I mean, he was so much the best that I don't think it really mattered. But all right, we have a little bit of time till Laurel comes up. We have a little bit less than 10 minutes. So Xavier is only down by 1 point on my TV, Razor. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yep, 2-minute warning.
Yeah, that's going to be a good ending. This is like we have basketball going on, horse racing. You know, I've never been to – I was in Las Vegas last weekend, which was interesting with some of the conference tournaments, but I've never been there for March Madness. Have either one of you guys been there for like the beginning rounds?
So we were in Vegas. What was that? We went with Pub Sports Radio. We did no, that was Derby, so that wasn't college basketball time. But last year we went to San Antonio during the March Madness. They had a couple games in Houston. They played in San Antonio, so we got to go to that game. But no, I've never been to Vegas during this time. I'm sure it's crazy and wild.
Yeah. Oldy, have you been?
I've not been during the tournament. We've something we've always talked about doing, but have never done.
Yeah, it was pretty busy last weekend. I mean, the sports books were definitely busy, but I'm sure it's wild these first couple days, to be honest. Yeah, Steve, I'm sure it has. I've heard people say some people don't like to go just because it's so crazy, but I'm sure it's a lot of fun. So it is now tied, and Xavier has the ball. So this is going to get interesting. Razor, who's your big sleeper? Oh man, guy just missed a layup wide open.
For my tournament pick to win it all for my bracket, I took Marquette. I took Marquette over Gonzaga.
The Zags. I'm from Washington, so I always appreciate people rooting for the Zags. They seem to never pull through, so I'll be curious. Oldy, what about you?
I mean, anybody who knows me knows I went to Kansas, so Kansas is my pick. And I will say I think they got hosed on that they should have been the number 1 seed in the Midwest with the NCAA record regular season 17 quad 1 wins. But what are you going to do? You got to play the teams that are out there. They didn't look impressive and won by almost 30 points the other night or last night. So,
you say they did not look impressive?
They did not look impressive.
But they won by 30.
I know. But they did not look impressive.
Also, while we have a second here, I just want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. I see got 100+ people in the chat, but there's only 43 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button down below, hit the like button now. We got everybody in the chat. Scott Free, Steve, Mike M, Wildhound, Skillman, Davy Cab. Got everybody in the house. Kevin Reed, Rodney Dudley, Mike, Gregory McSorley, Marco Lou. Man, you guys got a nice little squad here in the chat today.
I appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, they're such a great group. I met a bunch of these guys last weekend in Vegas. It was cool. Like, you all these people that come in on the chat, Razor. I don't know if you ever meet some of the people when you do your shows, but then you meet them in person, man. It's awesome. You're just going to have this great conversation.
Yeah, man. They're actually doing I do a lot of shows for Pub Sports Radio, and we cover like horses, UFC, NBA, college basketball. We cover pretty much everything. They do a meetup every year. Last year was the first meetup. They're actually meeting up next week in San Antonio, where the headquarters is. But I won't be able to go. It's my daughter's first ballet recital, so I'm doing daddy-daughter duties, and I'll have to miss it this year.
Priorities.
As somebody who's always traveling for his daughter's stuff, I applaud you. We go to a lot of these chair competitions. There's not a lot of dads there. Support your daughters in sports and activities.
Oh yeah.
I love that. I love hearing that. My kids just started playing baseball. I'm coaching them. We
Nice.
we have our first game in about a week, but last night was the first night. We've been practicing about 2 weeks, and last night was the first night where I let the kids get in the box, and then I had a kid pitch to them. So they're 8 to 10-year-olds, right? And some of them, man, like I swear some have played before. I think there's 1 or 2 that maybe haven't, but they get in the box, man, and they have this kid pitching to them, and it's like, all right, I get up there. I'm like, do you guys know how to get out of the way of the ball? And many of them don't, man. I mean, it's very important. And like, they churn the wrong way and all types of stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. But I'm watching this game, Razor. I think I have Xavier in my brackets. I don't really know, but it is tied. And this guy's at the free throw line with 18 seconds left. He's got to hit at least one of these.
Yeah, I have Xavier.
I'm now caught up to you guys.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because you're in the Midwest. What were you going to say, Razor?
Yeah, I had Xavier going to the Elite Eight.
Oh, he missed. He missed the second. They're going to call a timeout. Wow. This is always what it's about. Last second shot going to happen here. So we will see. All right.
Do you guys feel bad for that Virginia player at all?
I didn't see what happened.
So they were up by 2, They got a rebound and they put pressure on the guy, and he didn't know what to do with it, so he just threw it towards like half court just to get rid of it. It went right to the other team. He dished it to his player for 3, and they hit the 3, and Virginia ended up losing by 1.
I mean, I guess what I would say on that was they had a timeout.
That's the biggest thing.
The coach should have been screaming for the timeout and wasn't. And yeah, I feel bad for the player. It was bad coaching.
Big time.
All right. Let's what is it?
And I will say a lot of the people I know were happy to see Virginia lose because they hate the way Virginia plays from an entertainment standpoint.
Well, Virginia's that number 1 seed that got bounced first round a couple years ago.
Yep.
What are the refs here are looking at something, but I don't know. We'll let they're definitely reviewing something.
It might be the time left before the timeout was called.
Oh, yeah, it could be. All right, we got Laurel in 1 minute. Oldy, I am 1-4. You are 1-4-5 and 1-4-5-8 and 11. I am 1-3-4-7-8 and 11. So we're both spread some of the same horses. I thought that the 1 would be dangerous. Don't tell Darren. I also thought the 8 in 11, who you also used. But any thoughts here? I mean, that EquinEdge long shot is just getting pounded at the window all the way down to 7-1.
But it's 11%, so I think it's alive here. I think it's got a good shot. Anytime you see an E long shot with double-digit win percentage, that's something you pay attention to. I noticed today that they added the copyright next to the GSR symbol.
Yeah, I saw that too. I thought that was cool. It's got a little R up there with the circle. So, all right, they are likely approaching the gate, which they are. It looks cold in Maryland if anybody is there. Kennesaw, what's it? Kennesaw, is that how you pronounce it? They got the ball, man. They're going to try to win here.
So, yeah, that's a suburb of Atlanta. I've stayed there before.
Oh, that would be the game. Guy had a good drive, but he didn't make it. The other horse, Oldy, you used, I think we both did. You used the 4 as well. I thought this horse was interesting at a price. I mean, Will's Desire. I wouldn't be surprised to see any of these speed horses win. The 3 Razor Peach B with Q. You talked about this horse a little bit. I mean, that horse is taking money. I didn't think it would as a low win percent, but it got bet down all the way to EquinEdge morning line.
Yeah, I'm spread here in this leg. I got the 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8.
Yeah, so we're close. I used the 4 and not the 5, but it'll be interesting. Johnny says he loves Iowa State.
Yes, I am on Iowa State today, -4.5.
Is that one of your plays today?
Yep, that's one of my plays.
I mean, that's a good Iowa State team. I've seen them several times this year.
Yeah, Pitt's a big public dog. The public's hammering them. They think they have a good shot here, but I don't think so. I think Iowa State wins by 10.
Oh, so a lot of people are picking Pitt as a bit of a price.
6th race, Laurel Park, scratch number 9, Cowgirl.
And I think that might be a product of them having played already. People having seen them in the play-in game.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, Oldie. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Recency
bias. They didn't look good, though.
No, I didn't think they did either. And, Jeff Capel used to coach Oklahoma, and he's a bad coach. He's had a great season, but that team has, but he's a bad coach. And, Pitt could win that game, but there was nothing I saw them do that I thought, wow, I have to put some money on this team, or I have to pick this team.
Is that the Jeff Capel that played at North Carolina, Oldie?
I believe it's I always get Jeff and Jason Caples confused. One played at Duke, one played at North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the guy that played at Duke.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I think he went back to Duke as an assistant after he got fired at Oklahoma.
Johnny G likes Pitt. This tells me that's definitely going to be a game to watch. It's probably a good game to bet too, right, Razor? I mean, especially if you like Iowa State, like you're saying.
Yeah, it's going to be a big night. There's a lot of games going tonight. My top big play, though, for my Gambler's First Glance play is Florida Atlantic +2 against Memphis. That game pops off at 9:20. That's my biggest play of the day.
I put together a pretty quick bracket this year. I love doing a bracket. I've just been so busy. I didn't get a lot of time to figure stuff out, but I always do okay. So I'm not too worried. I have a bit of an outlier though. I think I have the Zags in one of my bracket, but my other pick is Kentucky. So I'll be curious. And I have San Diego State going fairly deep in the bracket. So it will be interesting.
All right, they're approaching the gate finally. The 9 scratch too.
I don't think really mattered to most people. That horse was over 20-1, it looked like. But 9 scratch. Track is still fast. I know it's been raining on and off, so looks like they're going to the gate. All of us are spread here. I'm hoping we get a price, guys, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, we're due for a price, right?
I think so. After the chalk in the first race.
Well, the only thing is, I got the jockey on the 3. He's won the first 5 races. What are the odds he wins 6 in a row?
Hey, he's won 5 in a row?
Yeah, they said he won the first 5, I believe.
Is that Rodriguez?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't play Laurel well, rarely at all, but I'm curious on if he ends up going elsewhere soon because he seems to just dominate that track.
Yeah, he's Delaware's top jockey as well.
Oh, okay. Mike M says there's no way he gets 6 in a row. I hope he does. That horse is floating up too. It was bet down all the way to 5 or 6 to 1, but Xavier pulled it out. Great game though.
Oldy, you're talking to us. You're on mute.
I think I went to cough and then I put myself on mute and then forgot. But if he wins 6 in a row, he's entering IRAD and Pat Day territory.
All right, they're off. Let me get the sound back on.
Peach be with Q. Willful Desire on the outside is Bayless Street.
He's going to try. He's going straight to the front.
On the inside, and also Chauncey on the far outside. Vegas Wildcat and Sisters Duty caught it between horses, 5 lengths on the front. Cocktail Dreaming to the back of the pack, and Ojitos Beos trailing the field. 9-7 from the pace out of the far turn. Peach be with Q. Willful Desire turning up the heat of the outside. Bayless Street travels in 3rd position, and Chauncey the outside racing in 4th. Vegas Wildcat and Cocktail Dreaming. They got 5 to make up now, and followed by Sisters.
Come on, Jamie, take him home.
Darren into the inside of Ojitos Beos trailing the field. Peach B with Q turns for home with a narrow lead. Willful Desire is right there. Bayless Street and Chauncey on the far outside. 4 of them almost in a line. The heat is on now for Jamie Rodriguez and Peach B with Q. Here's Bayless Street forging to the front.
Come on, 8.
Dreaming closing on the outside.
I have no
Cocktail
5.
Dreaming on the outside.
Come on, 8.
Bayless Street, the 2 down to the center with a 16 to go. Cocktail Dreaming just out kicking Bayless Street. Cocktail Dreaming won it by a neck. Cocktail Dreaming.
I have no. I tossed the 5, you guys. So I was like, oh man.
Well, 4 was looking strong though. He just didn't hit the corner.
Yeah, that was a good race. I mean, I love races like that. You get a couple prices up there. 3 tried to set the pace and get the lead. The 4 was pretty game, but just went too fast with the 3. And I mean, the 8 sat the trip, right? I mean, let everybody do all the work and just came flying late.
At Gulfstream, we would have got a, who do you like?
Yeah. It's so true, man. All right. Oldy, we both had the 8, right? Yes. Okay. So, and we advanced there. Razor had the 8. We advanced. We keep moving on. At least we didn't get the chalk, which was the 5. The 8, I think, was second pick, but great race. We have 8 minutes till Gulfstream, race number 8. I thought this was a bit of a tough race on the Tapeta, to be honest. These races can end up doing all types of crazy things, whether they're sprinting or going 2 churns. I always like to see horses that kind of come off the pace, going 1 churn a little bit, just to sit right off the pace, not necessarily be on the lead. But you guys both talked about the 4. I think this was both your guys' top pick, correct?
Correct, yes. But you're a race ahead of us, too.
Which race are you talking about?
You are right. This is good. I appreciate it. I was talking about race 7, but I was a race ahead. So now we got to go back to race 6. I thought the 8 might be a single. I know, Oldy, you're playing heavily against the 3 and 8 here, you know, and we talked a lot about this in race number 6. But Oldy, 3 and 8, you just don't think these horses can show up even though they're lightly raced?
I didn't like the workout on the 8. I didn't like the note in the workout report on the 8.
That's valid. Yeah.
And, you know, I wonder if the 8 needs to lead as well.
What didn't you like about the workout?
Let me pull that up real fast. So there was specifically a note in there.
I mean, on the surface, this horse, I mean, it's working every 7 days, which I always love to see, Razor. Like, to a T, this horse is basically working every 7 days. And
coming off that bullet workout on March 3rd.
Yeah, so the note I have says, exact estimate and Key Point worked a half mile in company for Brown. And Key Point was the best here, Key Point being the partner horse. Finished up half a length in front, well, on the inside and under a nice hold. Exact estimate was okay and finished up in hand, but Key Point did things much easier here and caught the eye.
Yeah, I mean, I think the horse could, I get it. I mean, it doesn't sound like, you know, amazing versus the other horse, but I still can't get over these SORs, man, in a maiden special race. I mean, you could see those numbers being at like 40 at some tracks, low 40s, and these things are at 62 in those Belmont races. I guess this was at Saratoga, so they were both races over the summer.
Yeah, and I think that's, for me, that's the issue. And, you know, Key Point's a low-level allowance horse. It's not a great horse. So, you know, that was kind of my my reason for not thinking that horse is a possible single here. That and the fact that I think it may need the lead.
Razor, what do you think here? I know that you went 3, 6, 8, so you were with me and thought the 3 and 8 were going to run.
Yeah, I think the 3 and 8 is going to be the 2 to beat. I like the late pace on the 6, which is why I threw the horse in. I think the horse can be coming late and suck these horses up like that 8 did at Laurel. That's what I'm hoping for.
Oldy, you know, being on the turf here, there's not, I mean, I don't think there's probably just a better jockey in the U.S., to be honest, than Irad, whether you think he's too aggressive or you like him or not. I don't think it really matters. I mean, he's so good. But the 10 horse, so I use this horse partially because Irad, Oldy, partially because I did see the work report as well. And this horse is bred for the turf. It doesn't look like anything special, but if you do get back to the race 2 back on the turf, and you can get around this race where it was in the 12 post, the horse ran a good race, to be honest, in a 10 horse field. So I always say, okay, well, Irad gets on in that race. Last was at Kentucky Downs, you know, and in a way, if you scratch that race, I don't really understand why this horse, it's still sitting at 10 to 1, which surprises me.
Well, and I have to wonder a couple things here. So Irad was on a second Chad Brown horse that was also eligible.
Yes. Yes,
And
the 11.
didn't make it in.
Yep.
Irad also, I'm assuming, had the choice of being on the 8.
I mean, his brother rides, so I mean, Chad uses them both, but I mean, maybe. I mean, we don't know, right? I mean, Pratt was riding before, so I could be. You could be right.
And which makes me wonder about both horses. And again, the 10, even though the pace number is not good, I think the 10 is another horse that needs the lead. If you look at the run line on that Ellis Park race, it was very close to the pace and it just faded. And in these other races, whether it be on dirt or at Kentucky Downs, it wasn't as close to the pace and it didn't pass anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I always try to just discount it. I mean, the one thing I would say is Irad can do anything for a horse, at least what I've seen. I mean, sometimes he takes a horse he thinks needs to be on the lead and he rates the horse and wins by like 3 lengths.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. It's also suspicious, let's call it, that he has ridden once for Oliver. So you have to figure this horse is probably live if he's riding for her.
I mean, it is only 4%. We'd love to see a long shot kind of angle as well. But I don't know. I use this horse because I think it's live. So we will find out. All right. What other basketball we got going on right now? I saw Baylor was playing. Are they winning?
Right now, Baylor is up by 9 against Santa Barbara.
Oh, okay.
61-52 with 7:45 left. St. Mary's is at halftime against VCU. St. Mary's is up by 1, 29-28. And Marquette's got 11 minutes left. They're up by 3, 18-15.
Yeah, and one of the analytics services, they're not analytics services, but analytics guys really likes Vermont here against Marquette. Or maybe not specifically against Marquette, but likes Vermont and thinks Vermont's going to play a very competitive game.
It can be competitive as long as they lose.
Because you're on Marquette, right, Razor?
For the bracket, yeah.
I did not have a lot of shares of Marquette in my brackets.
I have Kentucky beating Marquette, so we will see. All right, we got well, they're not even on the turf course yet. There's I'll flip back over here to the video. And I saw somebody mention it's cool to have video. Yeah, I mean, for anybody who hasn't tuned in before, we traditionally will cover awesome. Thank you to the Stronach group. We usually will cover Gulfstream Park and Laurel early, and then a lot of times we'll cover Santa Anita and Golden Gate late. Today we'll only cover Santa Anita mainly because, right, Oldy, Golden Gate's not starting until like after 5 p.m. Eastern, if I remember right.
4:45 Eastern, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5:15. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Oldy, right there, and I didn't ever look, but I'm assuming that was because the golden hour is going to be a lot later because Santa Anita had a couple extra races.
Yeah, there's some good races today at Santa Anita, though.
Yeah, which is awesome. Like, good afternoon racing, St. Patrick's Day. Do you guys have plans? What are the plans for the evening?
I got a show that pops off at 7 o'clock, so I'm going to be drinking all night. As you can see, I got my St. Patty's shirt on, so I will be drinking all night, covering all the college basketball games. We do a live betting show, so anything that's going on, we watch it. We cover horses, college basketball, NBA, NHL. If it's live, we're betting it, trying to make some money.
Nice.
I'll have to tune in. I don't have my kids this weekend, so I'll be there, Razor. I'm for sure gonna stop by and say hello.
Nice. It's just like a night out with the guys and the girls. You go out to the sports book and you sit around the table watching games. It's pretty much what we do on stream. We drink a lot. I'd start taking shots at 50 likes, and then every 10 likes after that, we take another shot. So we try to get the chat involved, do some giveaways, and most importantly, win some money at the end of the day.
We should have Scotty start taking shots at 50 likes.
Send him
Send him the bourbon and see what happens. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. They're on the turf course finally. The 3 is gonna go off as the favorite, likely. The 8, the second favorite. Irad on the 10 is my price horse. Currently 10-1, not moving an inch, which surprises me, to be honest. But Razor, you have the 6 as well. And Oldy, you'll have to remind me, who else do you have? I know you're spread here.
I have way too many horses here. I have the 1 through 3, 6 through 8.
All right. Good luck. We will turn it over to announcer Pete. 63 feet out on the rail. They are as far as they can get. Narrow turf course. It is pretty tore up. So I'm glad to see them. Whoa, 5 horse almost kicked that gate worker. He whipped that. He hit that horse, man, and it did not like it.
Yes, Chris. Chris wants to know if he can start doing bong hits at 100 likes.
There's the 7, 30-1 bomber.
Looks like they're going off pretty much as faves.
Yeah, the 8's taking the late money. Give me a second. I don't know why we can't hear Pete, so I'm going to re-add the stream, make sure that we're not missing him.
Sometimes he doesn't.
Waiting for exact estimate and levity.
So I covered
Levity
the 10
take the outside
with a $5 win place show.
I like it.
And if he finishes second, I still will make money. Is that moonshine, bourbon? What are we drinking there, Razor?
I got some Fireball.
Fireball, nice.
Razor, do you put it in the freezer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mitigate.
That's good stuff.
And they're off. Good start inside for Ortis, who heads off for the early lead. Splitting horses. Happy Runner with Memories Are Magic into the top flight. These 3 across the course. Racket is away in the blue colors in 4th. 2 better than an improving exact estimate. He's well settled at this stage. Racing ahead of the other favorite, Oglethorpe. A gap of another 2 to levity. 3rd last. 2nd last is Dr. Kringle. Most wanted man as last of the 9 as they charge around the first turn. Here's Racket moving up out wide to challenge Happy Runner for the top. These 2 now work 2 better than Memories Are Magic, who's now 3rd. Ortis is at the rail in 4th. Well settled in 5th is exact estimate. Jose Ortiz has him about 5 lengths off the lead, working 2 better than Oglethorpe. Another 2 lengths back to levity, then Dr. Kringle and Most Wanted Man. Less than 5/8 from the finish. Racket at a big price leads by a length and a half. Happy Runner is the nearest pursuer, 2nd. 2 back to Memories Are Magic. He's now 3rd. Ortis is at the inside, Yellow Cap while racing in 4th, followed 5th by exact estimate. He's traveled excellent throughout. He's starting to make a bit of ground. He's 2 better than Oglethorpe, then Most Wanted Man. Out the back, levity. Now the trailer, Dr. Kringle. Around the far turn they go. They went 47-3 for a half-mile speed. Racket has the lead. Happy Runner is 2nd. Exact estimate is into the bridle while racing 3 wide 3rd. Dropping back a touch is Ortis. Driven into 5th is Oglethorpe. He's underway from the outside in levity, and they're at the top of the stretch. Now jockey Jose Ortiz tells exact estimate it's time to go to work as he takes the lead from Happy Runner with Oglethorpe on his outside. Oglethorpe and exact estimate kick on. Exact estimates with a clear lead. Oglethorpe is 2nd. Exact estimate traveled powerfully throughout. He wins by a length and a half. 2nd, Oglethorpe.
8 wins.
Chalk.
Yeah, I talked about that. I mean, I thought that horse might be a single. Ran a good race. 3 horse comes in 2nd. Top 2 EquinEdge picks. Top 2 chalk. But hey, we get through. That's a good thing for all of us. We have Laurel in 7 minutes, I think. Let me double check. We do. All right. So we are on to leg 3, Oldie. If I remember correct, you are just 2-3 here, correct?
I'm just 2-3, correct. But yes.
All right. I am 2-3-7. I thought the second EquinEdge pick was a little bit interesting here. The 3's taking all the money at the moment, though. Razor, who's your top pick here in race 7 at Laurel?
There's only one horse you need in this race, and that is the Delaware jockey, The Queen
Oh,
on the 7 horse. Captain Quint. I singled the 7 here.
I love it. Yeah, I thought this horse was interesting, to be honest. I mean, and I like that it was the second EquinEdge pick. I mean, this horse will need to improve, but it has only raced 10 times, and it's going to have to, it drops into, after breaking its maiden, this is this situation I always think of, like, light bulb goes off, horse all of a sudden starts running, but breaks its maiden easy all of a sudden, then wins an allowance race with the restriction on it, but wins at 12-1, and then continue in a starter optional claim here.
Yeah, the horse has raced 10 times lifetime. He's been in the money 5 of them. He's coming off back-to-back wins, going for 3 in a row.
Yeah, got a good shot. Oldy, you're just 2-3, no 7. Everett Song, we talked a lot about this horse coming off the layoff. Talk to me a little bit about the 2 horse.
The 2 horse, top win percentage, top
The
pace, off a nest claim as well. So, that's like a 30% play, which explains the win percentage as well. So the 2, I think, it has a good shot to go gate to wire here. Fits from an SOR standpoint, has beaten better with the previous trainer. This will be from an SOR standpoint, the worst group it's faced since actually about a year ago, March 13th of 2022. I'm not sure how this horse is going to behave being on the lead because it hasn't been in the past, but if the pace number is correct, it could get a pretty easy lead.
Yeah, I'm with you. I could see it. It looks like they're just going out on the track over at Gulfstream. It came 8-3-6, Razor. So you had the trifecta in hand, man.
Yeah, I got the exact end to try.
Nice. Well done. That 2 horse we talked a little bit about, just talking about Gulfstream again. That was the Rosario Clement horse. Ended up running 4th as a first-time starter.
Yeah, it might be one to pay attention to because that horse looked like it could run.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right.
We're just going to hang for a minute and chat some more basketball.
So Baylor is romping now. That game was close earlier, but that game's basically over. Marquette, Razor looks to be ahead, but they're about a little over halfway through the first half.
I can run through a couple of plays that I have that are getting ready to go off in a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I appreciate it.
We already went over the Iowa State game. That game pops off at 3:30. I am on Iowa State -4.5. Also, I'm all about transparency. So I give records out every day. I am 0-1 today. I had USC +2, but we are 6-2 to start the March Madness. We went 1-0 on the play-in games, and then we went 5-2 yesterday in college basketball, +660. So today, first play was USC, and we lost. But I do have Iowa State getting ready to pop off at 3:30. I have Iowa State -4.5 against Pitt. And then the next game I have after that doesn't go off till 7:30. I have Miami -2 against Drake. Public is hammering Drake there as well. I like to be on the side Vegas wants to win, so I'm on Miami -2. And then I have another play that pops off at 7:30. That is the Grand Canyon Gonzaga under 154.5 under for me in that game. For that game, the total opened up at 157. The public is hammering the over because they think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Well, Vegas said, well, if you like 157, we'll drop it to 156 because you like the over. Oh, you like 156? We'll drop it again. We'll make it 155. Oh, you like under 155 here? We'll give it to you at 154.5. So the public is hammering the over, but the line is going the opposite direction. So I like to follow Vegas because they get bigger because of the public loses. So I'm on the under in that game, Grand Canyon under 154.5 and Gonzaga And then my other last college game, it's my biggest play. I have a play. It's called Gambler's First Glance. It's where at first glance you look at a play and you want to bet it without even handicapping it because it looks like an easy winner. But after you handicap it, you're actually on the opposite side. And that's what I did here today with FAU against Memphis. The public is hammering Memphis. The line opened up at 2.5. It's down to 1.5. But everyone is betting Memphis as the favorite because they're only a basket. So they should blow out this CUSA team. So I like FAU. That is my biggest play on the board today.
What bracket are they in? I'm trying to look at that game.
Florida Atlantic and Memphis.
That is that the South?
I don't know. I can't find it.
Well, the only 4-star workhorse of the day looks like it just romped at Oaklawn Park. There was no value in it. It went off at 1-1, but the 6, King Ottoman.
Nice.
And it's the East.
Oh, in the East. Okay.
Oh, there. Game plays Purdue.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, so an 8 versus a 9 seeds. Interesting. Okay. So you did you take FAU in your bracket then?
Yes, I did.
What do you think of Purdue? Just curious.
Purdue's good, but I have them getting upset next round to Tennessee. I think
okay. I had them losing in the second round.
This round coming up or the next round?
Yeah, the round coming up. Not obviously the 116 game, but the where they play the winner of the 8-9 game, the Memphis Florida Atlantic game.
Gotcha. Yeah, a lot of people are big on Memphis. They like Penny Hardaway as the coach.
Yeah.
So, Razor, you like Marquette out of that bracket. Oldy, who do you like?
Let me pull up my brackets instead of trying to remember them off the top of my head.
All right. They as you do that, they are coming to the gate at Laurel. Oldy has the 2-3. I am spread in this race 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 10, which is the only horses that didn't scratch. So I'm hoping for a price, Oldy, but you're hoping for 2 or 3. So I will root for you and I to get through with either the 2 or 3, hopefully the 3.
Cricelli.
Sounds good. So I have Memphis beating Purdue.
Again?
And I had Duke coming out of that bracket and Duke going to the final game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I had Tennessee beating Duke.
Romp.
And
that's gonna be a good game.
Me for a Duke fan. I'm not a fan of Duke, but they've been playing really well the last 3 weeks or so.
Bobby G.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
And Captain Quint, last 2 up. 2 back.
Gotta put the pit game on TV.
One left to load. Here comes the 7, and then we are off at Laurel race number 7.
Lined up 1 mile, second finish line. They're off. Good break there for Everett's Song. Captain Quint there on the outside, and here comes Semper Fi up on the inside, showing
The
early
7 is
speed
2-1. Is that what that
BG
says?
settles in fourth as
3-1.
to the main portion of the track. And back to Romp, tail of the field.
But it's Laurel. It could
be
be 6-1 or 7-5 right now, and we would have no way of knowing.
Captain Quint on the outside in second. Bobby G's in between horses in the pink colors, moving along to third.
We didn't get the lead.
Down inside,
no.
Settles back in fourth position.
That may be a problem for that horse.
Another
We'll
4
see.
back, and Cricelli is still last of them all. Not much
I mean,
change at
big
all.
chalk.
Not much opposition up front either for Everett Song. Everett Song, Bobby G. They're 1-2 with Captain Quint third and Semper Fi. Parked out of the inside there fourth. Racing into the far turn run. They're followed by Romp and Cricelli has to
7
pick it
just
up
looked over at
into
the
the
2 and
far
was
turn
like,
Seven's
run.
loaded.
Everett
peace,
Song,
see you
Bobby
later.
G putting some pressure on Captain Quint coming to join out 3 wide of the track.
that
Semper
was
Fi
pretty
is right
funny.
there, a close fourth. It's 3 more lengths back to Romp and another 7 back to
Come on,
Cricelli.
Carol.
Top of the stretch for the long run home. Captain
She
Quint on the
gone,
outside
man.
and Bobby G.
The
They're
2 gonna
1-2
try to
now.
come through,
Semper
though.
Fi's guided off
Yeah,
the
the 2's
inside
got a hold.
there.
The
Bobby
7 went
Jamie
way too
Rodriguez
far
trying
out.
to come through between horses, but
I
still
think
just
it's
at an even pace as
two
they come
done,
now.
man.
3/16 of a mile.
Come on,
He's done.
7.
Captain Quint.
Get up, baby.
Captain
You
Quint
got
Come
it.
on,
You got it.
Captain.
up. Semper Fi
Oh,
driven
the
on the
6 is on
outside,
the
and
inside.
Everett Song backs off a little
Come
bit
on,
to the final
7.
furlong. Captain
Get
Quint's
up.
in front from
Oh, here
Bobby
comes
G.
the
Semper
2.
Oh, here
Fi
comes the
trying to
2
reach on
late.
the outside.
Gonna
Semper
mo-
Fi on the outside.
Gonna
Here
mow him
comes
down.
Jamie
Mow
Rodriguez
him
trying to
down.
time it just right at the second wire finish.
Oh,
Win
At the line,
Win
it's
number 6.
Jamie Rodriguez into the Laurel Park record books. Semper Fi, 6 wins
to be honest
for
with
Jamie
you,
Rodriguez.
I'm surprised he called that based on where the finish line is because, and I'll leave it here. The horse definitely, if it wins, it's going to be very close because where the finish line is, it looks like the horse didn't get that great of a bob. But he called it, so he must be right.
Let's see if we can get a better look here, better angle.
I
I
mean,
mean, they're putting the graphic up, so they must already know.
Yeah, the 2-1.
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Well, I'll get through another
Chalky horse, but
We're running the
that
wrong
is
way.
okay.
We have
When Santa Anita start, we still got a bit, not for 33 minutes. So
we can
go there though. Maybe because we have, well, let's look at Gulfstream real quick.
So we have Gulfstream in 10 minutes. Maybe we can go to Santa Anita after Gulfstream. So Gulfstream race number
7, Oldy, in Razor. The 8 ended up winning last race. It's been a little bit of a chalky start, but that's okay.
You both ended up liking the 4. So I was talking about this earlier. The 7 designed by Kitten's currently the favorite, it looks like. But Razor, you are 4-6-7 here, and Oldy, you are only 4-7, correct?
Correct, yes.
So talk to me about this 4 horse. You both like this horse a lot. I thought this horse was tactical, was going to sit a good trip. It's dropping. I thought it was interesting.
Well, from a analytics standpoint, this horse is your top pick, your top win percentage. The 7's the top win percentage, but it's also your top GSR, top SOR. Dropping into here has shown that it can rate a little bit. This is a synthetic race, but it's not one with crazy speed here. And so the 4 could just sit a perfect trip right off the 6 and 10 if it chooses to, or it could go to the lead. Like you said, it's tactical. And if there is a pace duel, I think the 7 cleans up the pieces. Is the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Razor, any other thoughts here? I mean, I think you were also on the 4, right?
Yeah, I'm on the 4 as well. Like you said, I don't know how you can't put this horse in your actions. One of the top win percentages, second top pace, top SOR, top GSR. This horse is racing okay besides the last time out.
What a horse that I thought was a little bit interesting, I don't disagree with you, was loving making sense. The 6 horse is the EquinEdge long shot, but it has, I don't know who this trainer is, Kevin McCathan, but did show up as a long shot because the system needed to pick one. But what about the 10 horse, you guys? I mean, Mercury Head, there's a lot of scratches here, so it's only a 6 horse field. This horse, he switches from Kelly Breen over to Orsino. Edgar Perez rides, who it must be the top jock for Orsino because they hit at 23% together, with both of them are really only 13%. But I thought this horse might get a good trip. I mean, it won last out in a 54, 1 back, 3 back in a 56. But I thought this horse was interesting.
No, I think that this horse also is pretty interesting. I'm not sure whether this horse wants turf or synthetic or doesn't care.
I think it may not care. I mean, I remember, look at the GSR. It's like 62, 63, 64. So, honestly bred across surfaces.
And I think we'd all be using the 6 if the 6 was still with Fisher instead of with a 0% trainer.
Yeah.
And it looks like Mike M got another casher in the chat, so let's give him a round of applause.
That's dope. Yeah, well done,
Mm.
Mike. I mean, that's a good little exacta too.
Yeah.
The trifecta there probably would have been nice. You like the 472 USMC? Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I could see it being. It could be chalky. I personally, though, think I would not. I would land on a price here, which is why I spread. I think we're going to get off the chalk. But I do agree with you both that the 4 might be the top pick. I would probably take the 4 over the 7.
What I'm kind of looking at now is the 2 horse doesn't look too bad.
Hey, Paula.
The horse has raced 9 times, been in the money 5 of them, twice at this distance, 2 winners.
Yeah,
horse likes this distance.
This horse was the long shot before all the scratches. And for whatever reason, it flipped to the 6. But I don't disagree with you. I mean, the win percent is about the same as last out. And this horse just won, right? And if you go back, Razor, all the way 5 races back, this horse won at this surface and distance in a 58, right? Sitting off some pace. And then ended up running really well in a 64 after that. So I would not be surprised to see this horse maybe get back into form a little bit and could improve.
I think my issue with this horse is just that I think it needs pace to run into. Maybe it gets it here, but I think that's the question.
Yeah, Jaramillo jumps aboard, and traditionally I like to see him on the lead, so it'll be interesting here. But he rides for, is it Jose Pinchin? Yeah. So I mean, that's his top jock, or he traditionally rides, and he's ridden here. So I mean, that is the one thing I would say is this horse could get back. It jumps back into this level, and it has won here at similar, so it will be for sure interesting.
No, definitely. I could definitely see it. And I could definitely see it getting a piece here for sure.
All right. What's our basketball update, Razor?
For some reason, I'm stuck on a channel that doesn't have a game on at the moment, so I need to somehow turn the channel.
A couple score updates. Baylor has come final. They won 74-56. Xavier won 72-67. And then the early game, Michigan State won 72-62. A couple games that have started, VCU and St. Mary's. St. Mary's is winning 41-36 with 12 and a half minutes left in the game. And then in the first half, Marquette is up 36-30 with a minute left in the first half.
That's the game to turn on. All right.
That's a close one, man. Vermont somehow hanging in there.
Yeah, well, the VCU game's actually the one to turn on. VCU's down by 5, 12 minutes left in the game. So that might be a good one to tune into at the end of the game.
Yeah, St. Mary's 5 seed. They come out of the same conference as the Zags, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We got 4 minutes here. Razor, what's your sport of choice for betting?
My top sport with the best record would be NBA.
Yeah. Do you play it? I like to play a lot of props in NBA, to be honest with you. I think, and I do it mainly just from knowledge. I follow the NBA quite a bit, but I feel like you can find a lot of value in props in the NBA.
Yeah, props are big trendy plays. I've been riding 2 players lately for over 3-pointers, which
Yeah.
I have one play tonight. I have NBA. I have a $200 play on PJ Washington from Charlotte. He needs over 1.5 3-pointers. So if he makes 2 of them, we cash. He's been rolling. I've been playing with him in Bridges. I'm not a big player prop guy, but like I said, I've been working with Pub Sports Radio for about 2 years now. And those guys do. So when you hang out with winners, you learn from them. You don't want to be the smartest guy in the room, which I'm never. So I learn a lot, and I've been rolling with props recently a lot, big time.
I mean, the thing about it that I've seen with the NBA is like the scoring is just crazy this year. So I love looking for matchups, coming off back-to-back nights for teams, people that, are going to score a lot. And you can find, I feel like, good value if you can take a 30 or 40-point night, because all of a sudden I feel like the 40-point game is becoming the regular versus the 30-point game. And it's like, what is happening here? And then you throw in somebody who, you throw in a second one, and I like to bet them both ways. I'll, might throw in rebounds or assists or steals, and then I'll bet them both separately, and then I'll combine them together.
Yeah, the games have turned into like 3-point contests. If you look at the Warriors and Hawks game, the over-under is 248. That is insane. That's like a all-star game total.
Yeah. I mean, both those teams are just going to be flying threes, right?
Oh yeah, the best fade though right now is the Warriors on the road. They are just a garbage team on the road. So if you have been fading them every time they go on the road, you've been winning money. I think they're like 6-26 or something on the road this year.
Wow.
It doesn't matter how many points Curry scores. They just can't win on the road.
Yeah, my youngest, he's almost 8, is just a huge Steph Curry fan, right? Like a lot of kids, and I actually appreciate it. I'm like, hey man, he seems like a great dude and good role model and everything, right? And but he lately, man, every morning, man, he's like, Warriors going to make the playoffs, Dad. Warriors going to make the playoffs. But it's because he wouldn't be asking me that, and he knows their record. But it's because of the road record, right, man? I mean, they are a completely different team right now on the road.
Yeah, as long as they can if they get a home series, they might be able to win in 7. But if they go on the road, it's hard for them to win.
You follow baseball?
Oh yeah, big baseball guy. I actually like all the Philly teams and all the sports except, as you can see, football. I'm a Packers fan, so I'm a big Phillies fan as well.
I think Oldy's a Packers fan too, right, Oldy?
That would be incorrect, but I will tell you that in one of the chats, somebody told me we shouldn't allow Razor on the show because he's a Packers fan. So
It sounds like a Bears something a Bears fan would say.
it was something a Bears fan said. Yes, that would be correct.
So, Razor, are you happy to see, making an assumption, but Rodgers go this year? I mean, it sounds rather likely. I don't think it's final, right? But
no, he's still ours. He can't go anywhere until we get rid of him. The Jets want to make a trade with us. I just don't know who they're going to give us. It's got to be, I'm guessing it got to be a couple first rounders or something like that.
Well, I mean, I'm in Seattle, right? And being a Seahawks fan, it was the reason why I kind of asked that was, and I had season tickets for 15 years. But I'm a baseball and basketball fan. I love football, but I'm a huge played baseball and basketball. But when we traded Russell Wilson, man, and got all those picks, I was so happy, man. I was like, hallelujah. Finally, a Seattle team made a good trade, and we ended up getting a lot in return. So
yeah, it's going to be a crazy season with the Packers, especially we got Jordan Love coming now. So it's definitely going to be interesting.
The joke around here is that Rodgers is on the Favre plan, though, because he went to the Jets. So the next question is, when does he text a picture of his junk to one of the Jets reporters and then commit welfare fraud?
Then go to the Vikings.
Yes.
And then go to the Vikings. Wow. Well, Marquette Razor looks like they're up at halftime. And the other game you mentioned, St. Mary's and VCU, correct?
Yep.
And Pitt and Iowa State just started.
All right, they're headed to the gate. Announcer Pete going to take us over. You got Oldy is 4-7. Razor, you are 4-6-7,
and I am spread here to the Big Bomber in the next race, but we will turn it over to Pete.
Now, Lovin makes sense. Waiting for Designed by a Kitten and Mercury Head. Mercury Head. Edgar Perez to take the outside gate. They're at the post. And they're off. Slow to break was Hey Paula. Quick to break out wide. Mercury Head heading off for the early lead. Designed by Kitten has speed. Lovin makes sense away in the top flight. Then Traves and Foxy Lady slow into stride again today. Hey Paula's last of the six with less than half a mile to run. It's Lovin makes sense and Miguel Vasquez with rail position and the lead. Mercury Head is second. Traves is 3 wide. Designed by Kitten is on a hard hold at the rail. A gap of 2.5 more to Foxy Lady. Very much close enough if good enough. And 3 to the trailer. Hey Paula. They round the far turn at the 5/16. 3 wide Traves. 2 path. Mercury Head holding command as Lovin makes sense. Irad launching Foxy Lady 4 wide. And she's in high gear. Designed by Kitten is bottled up. No place to go. Off the turn and the stretch drive. Who do you like here? They're 5 across the course. As Designed by Kitten finds a seam. Foxy Lady and Traves surging over the top. It's Traves in front. Foxy Lady and Designed by Kitten on either side. Here's Designed by Kitten inside of Traves. Traves digs in and Traves hangs on to it.
Go. Boom.
The Irad, I think, pressed the button too early, guys. He was coming and like absolutely flattened out.
Well, if he had to choose a spot where I did not have his horse, that's the spot for him to push the button too early, right?
That is correct.
All right, we want to talk Santa Anita because they're going off in 17 minutes, and we still got 10 minutes till Laurel. So,
sure,
let's.
Yeah, 17. Sweet. Let me mute there.
Well, before we get onto that one, shout out to everybody in the chat still. We've been rolling for a good hour and a half now. So if you haven't hit the like button down below, press it. It's free. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it helps EquinEdge out a lot. Also, they are at 3.73 thousand subscribers. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Turn your notifications on. Get notified every time they go live right here on EquinEdge. Not just on Fridays, but I know Scotty does the show on Saturdays as well, right?
Yeah, and Razor, I appreciate that. He is doing a show this weekend. I know he's gonna do his spot play show, which he started doing. I know he loves doing that. I was talking to him about that. So yeah, I think he's doing it tomorrow, but don't hold me to that. I'm sure they will send out an email.
Nice.
All right. Oldy, I think is that that's not your ticket. This
That's
is
not my ticket.
your ticket here. Razor, did you put a ticket together here at Santa Anita, or you just want to chime in as we go through it?
I did not put ticket together, but I'll go through with it with you guys.
All right, cool. Oldy, let's start with yours because I was waiting for scratches and I didn't finish mine, but I probably will be able to. But you spread here 1, 3, 4, 7. I'm not surprised. I would add the 8 EquinEdge long shot first time starter just because that is a dangerous angle. The 4, not in the EquinEdge picks though, Oldy, but is the top win percent. 0 for 9. Tell me about this one.
Yeah, I mean 3 to 5 is crazy on this horse though.
I do agree with that. That is, I 100% agree with you.
I will say it's first time Doug O'Neill, and that's probably why, off a claim. And that's probably why it's getting bet so heavy. I like the 7 to possibly wire the field here. And, was morning line 4 to 1, E morning line 3 to 1, currently at 8 to 1. So I think that horse is dangerous. I think the 3 was dangerous as well. The Jonathan Wong horse, has shown the ability to rate and nearly beat a group of 50K maiden claimers where there was a little bit of a pace breakdown. So I think if they go too fast, the 3 is the horse that's going to pick up the pieces here. The 3 is 0 for 13 with 8 second places. So this horse may just miss again because that's what it does. But I wouldn't classify it as a money burner because it hasn't been the favorite. And then I thought the 1 who's lightly raced was interesting here, though the GSR is poor, moving from turf to dirt. And I believe that was the original E long shot when I put my ticket together.
The 1 was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I only saw it this morning. I looked at this sequence this morning in Ravello. The problem with the 8 is it's Kyle Frey and the neighbor's dogs just kind of wandering in the backyard. Kyle Frey gets aboard here, and they're 0 for 8 for
Quinn Howie. So you don't love seeing that, to be honest. But
I mean, it's a crazy angle, Razor. I don't know if you ever pay attention to that or if you have, but a first-time starter EquinEdge long shot is just a crazy angle within the tool. But any thoughts here in the first at Santa Anita?
Oh, that would be my top horses that 8. When you have a rat race and you're a bunch of rats racing, you take the first timer because anything can happen.
Yeah, I could see it for sure. So, all right, Oldy, let's go to your single in race 2. You are single to Bella Ranella, the 1 horse. The win percent say this field is wide open, but EquinEdge picks has the 1. I do think this horse is tough. Off a big layoff, though. What are your thoughts here?
The horse is working forwardly and, has excellent notes on its workout as well. So I'm not concerned about the layoff. Doug O'Neill's also pretty good off a layoff. And I did not really like the rest of this field. I think the 2's going to go too fast. And I think a lot of these other horses are going to burn themselves out chasing early.
Yeah, I could see it. I would spread this race. I'll show my ticket here in a minute. I'll get through yours, Oldy, just to make it quicker. I singled in the next race to the chalk, but I thought that this race could be tough. I mean, I get the 1. There's a lot of speed here. This horse could sit a great trip off the pace, going 6 furlongs. But I don't know. I was worried by a lot of the win percent is what confused me, Oldy, to be honest. And then this horse coming off the layoff.
No, and I get it, but I like the inside horse on the dirt at Santa Anita as well. And the fact that the horse is tactical.
Yeah, no, I like it. All right, let's go to race 3. You are 2, 3, 4. Talk less, work more. Great name. I love that when I saw that this morning. But I'm singling the 3 here on my ticket with Flavian Pratt. You added the 2 and the 4 as well. What were your thoughts here?
I thought this race is wide open. I almost added the 1 as well, the long shot. But the you see the win percentages. The 2 and the 3 are the same win percentage, and the 3 is 1 for 9 at the distance, and that 1 win was a maiden breaker. So, I look at this as a horse that potentially could be beat here.
Yeah, they get off the turf and get onto the dirt. What were your, was on the dirt last out and nearly wired the field. What was your thought there?
I mean, my thought was that again, if that's the case, this horse might hook into a speed duel with the 1, though.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. All right, let's well, Razor, what are your thoughts here on race 3?
This was a toss-up. I think the favorite can be beat here. So I really didn't have anything in this leg. If I were to do a pick 5 or anything, I'd have to use the all here. It's wide open.
All right. Let's talk Laurel for a minute because they're approaching the gate. 2 minutes. The 5 horse Oldy is just getting pounded 3-5 currently in race number 8. You are 2-5. I am 7. So we are completely against each other here because I only have 1 horse. You have 2 different horses. We all have the EquinEdge, or we have the EquinEdge picks, which is awesome. So I'm guessing one of us will advance because we both can't advance. So
exactly. Hopefully one of us does.
Unless my horse scratches is the only way that can happen. So did you love the 5 this much to be at 4-5 currently?
Definitely didn't love it to be 4-5. If it was 4-5 and I had that choice at the time, I would have had the single here.
Yeah. I thought that horse could be tough. I talked about the 7 horse already. First time going 8 furlongs. It's been racing 7. It got off of the synthetic, which was a good thing at Turfway Park, and then had been on the turf all over the place and not necessarily maybe what it wanted to do. It ran okay, but my main reason here is I thought this race 2 back was very interesting for this field, and that I know, Oldy, you talked a lot about you expect a hot pace here. I'll be curious how hot it is. My hope is that this horse is able to kind of rate off the speed was my thought process.
And I don't think this horse can rate. That was my thought process. So we'll see.
Razor, any thoughts here on Laurel race 8?
I'm playing a little trifecta. 1-5 over the 1-5 over the 3-7. I did a $5 try. It cost me $20.
All right. Good luck. They are approaching the gate. Any exciting basketball update, guys?
Iowa State's getting their ass kicked.
It's early though, right?
Yeah.
I should not have said that Jeff Capel's a bad coach. I'm going to end up eating that one for sure.
Razor, is you going to join us for the beginning of Santa Anita, or is this your last race?
Yeah, I can do another one.
All right. Looks like they got about 7 minutes. We will jump back there. Oldy, I feel like they must have heard us because all of a sudden the racing is spread out like perfect.
Well, I will say that Gulfstream after the time change last week.
Yeah.
They went to an 11:40 first post.
I like it.
20 minutes later. So yeah, no, I can't complain about it either.
A lot of pick 6 tickets live there. We need the 1 horse on my ticket, which is currently bet down to 9-1 from 20-1. So I like that. It doesn't really matter to me. I will for sure be placing a win bet there, but we will jump over to Laurel. Good luck, guys. Oldy, you have 2 and 5. I have the 7. Hope one of us needs to advance.
7 wins today. It is Shafts Bullet moving in. Working on a dream. And Momos Second wire finish, 1 mile. And they're off. Locomotive working on a dream, and Momos on the outside, all in the early firing line. Here's Shas Bullet, who'll settle right off the pace and be better racing inside of Shas Bullet. Another 4 back, and it's Dixie Drawl and Prairie, the 2 in the back. Their last now some 9 off that lead. Momos shows the way. Momos eager to go, has the head in front from Locomotive on the inside, prompting on through. Working on a dream is 3 lengths off the speed in third, and Be Better is in fourth. Here's Shas Bullet and Jamie Rodriguez. They're racing in 5th position, 5 off the lead, and they're out between horses there as they head over the 5-turn run. Shas Bullet has improved up to 4th spot with a good duel up front with Momos and Locomotive down to the inside. In the meantime, Be Better is 3rd. Shas Bullet ready to pounce there from 4th of the 3rd turn run. Working on a dream is next in 5th. They're followed by
Jamie
Prairie
Rodriguez
and Dixie Draw in the back of the compact field, only 7 lengths from front to back. Round that turn, and it is Momos just up top from Locomotive. Shas Bullet is lurking in 3rd position. Be Better racing in 4th. Then Inspector Prairie on the inside and working on
what's he doing? Why is he looking around?
The field. Top of the stretch, 2nd wire finish.
These guys,
it's a long
just
run
ride
home,
the horse.
a 1/4 mile in. Here's Shas Bullet on the outside, ridden with plenty of confidence.
Come on, Be Better, Be Better.
In front now.
5 is loaded. He hasn't even hit the horse
about a
yet.
length in front from Momos. So
That's
the
a hand
outside
ride.
is Be Better, continues to battle. Locomotive is dropped back with a furlong left to go. Shas Bullet and Jamie Rodriguez, they're racing into history here at Laurel Park. It's a record-tying 7-win day for Jamie Rodriguez. Wow, what a day. Unstoppable.
He's got 7 wins, guys. That's pretty incredible.
7 out of 8.
Is that what? Yeah, that's race 8. I mean, he almost swept the card.
And he don't race next time, so.
Oh, is that his last race?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, well done for Jamie Rodriguez. That's incredible.
It's not a bad day. 7 out of 8.
Right?
10% of whatever 7 out of 8 is.
We got 4 minutes Santa Anita, 11 minutes until Gulfstream Park. Let's jump back, Oldy, to your Santa Anita ticket. I think we talked race 3, correct?
We did, yes.
All right. You are spread big time. All but 1, if I have this correct. No
Yes,
1 horse.
That's going to come back to haunt me. I know for a fact, but I just couldn't use the 2 for 31 horse.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I didn't really.
This horse has been facing easier, so I didn't really see this horse, to be honest, either. So I'm not surprised you cut here. I like the 3, 4, 5 best. Thoughts, Razor? Who's your top pick here in race number 4?
That's Santa Anita, right?
Yeah.
I didn't make it that far.
No, you're good. Oldie, tell me about who's your top pick here, even though you spread.
My top pick here actually is the top pace horse, the 2.
Go gate to wire.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw this. I mean, I looked here. It was on the lead back here in a 50 and nearly wired the field.
So I wouldn't be surprised, and it got an easy lead that day. You get Tiago Pereira gets aboard, right? He rode last out. Payeras had rode back then.
But the difference, right, Oldie, is this horse is going to go 2 turns. Is this horse going to get an easy lead? I wouldn't be surprised, but you also have the 6 horse in here, right, that may show a little bit of pace.
Definitely. I mean, the 6 horse could, and I'm covered if that happens because I have the 3, 5, and 4 there who will clean up the pieces if that happens.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
So what do we got? They're going to be close. They are 2 minutes away. In the last leg, Oldie, you are 1, 3, 4, and 6. Any thoughts here? No EquinEdge long shot, I see.
I knew you were going to hit me for that one.
6%er. I mean, not that I saw a lot with the horse, but I mean, it's more that's when they win. But I hope you still win. So,
well, I mean, the 3 probably wins here. But I do often say that when you see Baffert put a horse in for a tag, that's usually a sign to play against it, because you could easily have singled this horse here, but
Yeah.
you know, he doesn't put good horses in for tags.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. That's my ticket, brother. I did add the 8 in the last Warrior Road. I singled the chalk here. I know you both talked about this being wide open. I thought this horse was tactical. It has speed. It can probably rate. It is the top GSR. It's coming from the toughest SORs predominantly. You don't see that really overall. It looks fairly close, but at this distance, you know, for sure, gets Flavian Pratt. I know he's gotten a lot of flack lately, but I think he's still a great jock. He's doing a good job. It's state bred, you know, so you know, I spread a little bit in the first. I do think the 8, we talked about the 8 Razor. This is the EquinEdge long shot first time starter, currently 13-1.
It's a nice price on that horse. Definitely got to bet this horse to win.
They're loading and about to go. Santa Anita race 1. Glad to see the weather is sunny and the rain is gone.
Yeah, looks like it's post time. And they're off. Justin, you gotta switch the screen.
Okay.
College Boy, Carpe Bellum at the rail is a joint third. Then comes Lemon Drop Shot, 5th and 7 lengths off the lead. Inside Tucker's Tribute, Ravello is next, and the distant trailer is Agapitos. They're a half mile from home, and it's Honeymoon Suite in front, leading the way by about a length to Hulk second. It's 3.5 more. Back to Carpe Bellum, racing on the inside of Lemon Drop Shot. Tucker's Tribute is hugging the rail in 5th with 7 to make up. It's a gap of 3 back to College Boy, Ravello, and Agapitos picking it up a bit from behind. A quarter of a mile to go, and Honeymoon Suite
7 looks in hand.
tries to shake away from
Yeah,
Lemon Drop Shot on
I
the
don't think
outside,
anybody
moving
gonna
up
catch
in
that
third,
horse.
followed by Carpe Bellum. There's an 1/8 of a mile to go, and Honeymoon Suite with a 3-length lead. Lemon Drop Shot finishing with interest, getting into second on the outside of Hulk.
3 coming.
16th pole, Honeymoon Suite still with a big lead. Moving into second, Lemon Drop Shot. The wire's coming, and Honeymoon Suite wins it. Honeymoon Suite.
Third choice. I'll take it. Boom.
Was second.
Yeah, well done there. You beat the favorite, so that's always a good thing, right?
Third choice. Yeah, third choice.
There's Jamie Rodriguez. He 7 wins, guys?
Whoever, you know, and I know how
7 wins.
I don't pick horses, you know, and whatever I got shot, I'm gonna give you 100%.
Disappointed. Why didn't you
What
win
a way
all
to
8?
start the weekend for Jamie Rodriguez here with 7 wins here on Friday.
He says he doesn't pick the horses.
Is that what he's? That's what
Yeah,
he said.
it's literally what he said. Yes.
Yeah.
He just rides them.
That's funny, man.
All right, we got Gulfstream. Razor, what's your plan, brother? You gonna dip out, or you want to hang around for a bit?
I'll do one more golf race.
All right, race 8. We got 4 minutes. Oldy, you both are still alive, correct?
Yep.
All right, Razor, you
Hard
have
not to be alive here with the chalk the first 3 legs.
I do agree. Razor,
Yeah,
you
I'm
got
trying to get my money back at this point.
Yeah, I know, right?
the 8, the favorite. I think it's gonna be hard for this horse to close ground. It is a small field, but that's a nasty rail. But we will see. I mean, there's not a lot of horses here. There's only 7 horses, so Irad's gonna have to keep this horse close. Which being Irad, he probably will. I will be surprised if there's the pace is all that overly fast here. But Razor, you're 3, 4, 5, and 8. And Oldy, you're pretty spread as well. You are 1, 3, 5, 6, 8. Oldy, who's your top pick here?
This was really a tough race. I mean, if I'm looking here, I'm gonna say the 8 was my top pick. But with the rail out, may be tough to get that horse home, and that's why I like your 1 here, because I think the 8 and the 6 are going to be coming from pretty far back, and are need to catch a break and have the field strung out a little bit.
Razor, what about you, brother? 3, 4, 5, 8. Did you have a top pick here?
Yeah, my top horse was the 3 Chasing Rainbows. This horse has raced 7 times, has been in the money 5 of them. So I like the 3 horse. I thought I'd get a little bit better of a price. 5 to 1's not too bad.
I think people just like the name, man.
Especially on a St. Patrick's kind of day.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That I do agree. That was good, man. I didn't even connect that for a minute, but just that's a St. Patrick's play for sure.
Versus Justin's Sea Cottage, the 5.
Yeah. I gotta be on the 1, man. Royal Spirit, man.
I know, I'm just teasing.
Yeah, I singled the 1 here, right? Oldy, you're singled in the next, but I thought Emma Jane, man. I mean, I think she's gonna be dangerous here. I think this horse is getting completely overlooked. Although I would say it obviously wasn't, because the public did bet it down initially. I think it was down to 8 to 1 at one point, but it's floating back up, which is a good thing. But I think it's going to be a good price here. They got about a minute to post, and they're not even near the gate at the moment. So we're probably at least a couple minutes away. I just think that, this horse is working well. You in the work report, it's working well. At the same time, you can see this horse has been working about every 7 days, which I like to see. And, came down from Woodbine, and I mean, has really good back class, to be honest. When it was racing in New York, it was a Fletcher horse and then got claimed. Linda Rice did whatever she did with it. Didn't run last out, but I put that because they put it on the synthetic. She jumps up in SOR, right? If she can run back to these races in New York, I think this horse has a big shot.
No, and I think this horse would be the favorite if Linda Rice was still the trainer, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
Razor, looks like we're in a little trouble with the Iowa State thing. If this was the World Baseball Classic, they would have ended the game earlier, Eddie.
Yeah, this is when you're playing a video game and you got to pass the sticks because you're getting 21.
What's the score?
22-2.
What?
10 minutes into the game, Iowa State has 2 points.
Make that 4. 22-4. Here comes the comeback. It's coming.
I was gonna say, man, this is time to take a little bit of action and take a little bet.
Yeah, this is where you take Iowa State money line.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Try and get them to come all the way back.
All right, I gotta run the restroom, so you two are gonna hold the fort down for a minute, and Gulfstream race number 8 is coming up.
Can you put the video up for us?
Yep.
Before you go, thanks. I don't know why that horse is being shown in slow motion, but it was. Yeah, so we need a cyclone of points here from Iowa State.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what their live line is right now. Let's see. Live line, Iowa State, plus 7.5. The money line right now is Iowa plus 208.
Does that still seem a little light to you?
Yeah, it seems really light. Getting blown out and only plus 208.
Yeah. That just shows that they think that there's a run coming.
I might have to jump on that. Plus 208. Live line now 6.5 on it. Do you bet on sports at all, Oldie?
Mostly football. I found I'm not a good basketball bettor, and I'm a terrible baseball bettor.
I like baseball because it's money line odds. It's not a spread. All you got to do is have them win and not win by 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever it is.
Who's your baseball team, Razor?
I'm a Phillies fan.
Oh, you said that earlier. That's right.
Yeah, I'm a 3 for 4 kind of guy. I like all the Philly teams except the Eagles.
That was a tough football loss for them. Were you rooting for the
horses
Eagles?
Are at the gate. It's now post time.
I did bet on the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That was my only play that I lost was the Eagles money line.
I bet Hurts on those rushing touchdowns, man.
Nice.
There's my one.
Also,
Go ahead.
He
There
was
was
the first touchdown scorer of the game. I don't know if you watched it, but there was a Eagles player. I think he scored, but I think they called him short at the 1 yard line. And
I
then
still think they were wrong, by the way.
yeah. And then Hurts ran it in and got
Lining up and moving in for race number 8, first half of a late daily double.
It was a great game, though.
5, 6, and the 8, the key contenders here. The 8 is favored, Master of the Senate.
And VCU's getting blown out now.
Yep.
Ski Patrol will be next. Then Rockstar Row and Master of the Senate.
Get North Carolina State and Creighton up here, too.
Man, that turf course is missing a lot of turf.
It looks like a fairway in a poorly maintained golf course.
Master
like
of the Senate.
Golf course in
Penalty is
Delaware.
Jinder to complete the line.
But the golf course at Delaware Park is really nice.
Remigate. And they're off. Much better start today for My Sea Cottage, who's ridden for the early lead. From Chasing Rainbows is away in second. Ski Patrol is up on the outside. He's now third. From fourth, it's Rockstar Row, then Master of the Senate and Royal Spirit. Out the back is Group Hug. And the run around the first turn, My Sea Cottage takes over a clear lead. From Chasing Rainbows is a bit keen while second and angling to the heels of the leader. Ski Patrol is now in third from a rail running Royal Spirit, who's up to claim fourth. From fifth, it's Rockstar Row, 2 better than Master of the Senate, and Group Hug is last. 23 and 3 for the opening quarter speed. My Sea Cottage, he's taken a strong hold of the bit. Sayas lets him roll early. He's opened a 4-length lead now. Chasing Rainbow second, Ski Patrol third, up to the outside, Rockstar Row, saving ground is Royal Spirit. Then Master of the Senate, and the trailer is Group Hug. So there's no secret here. My Sea Cottage will go as fast as he can for as far as he can. That was a wicked second quarter. He's in front by 5 as they swing to the far turn. Second is Chasing Rainbows. Third is Ski Patrol. He begins to make a bit of ground. Ridden into fourth is Royal Spirit, Master of the Senate. He starts to warm to the task. He's had a ton of pace ahead of him. He's in the clear now. Red Cap, Master of the Senate, gaining good ground as they start to reel in My Sea Cottage. There's a quarter of a mile left to go through 3/4 and 10 flat. My Sea Cottage has the lead while trying to re-break. From the outside, Ski Patrol, from between horses and Chasing Rainbows. Down the center and Master of the Senate. There's an 1/8 of a mile to go. My Sea Cottage trying to go one more furlong. He leads a length and a half. Ski Patrol is on the outside and Master of the Senate surging forward. Here's Master of the Senate to win it. Ski Patrol second, My Sea Cottage third. Fourth was Group Hug.
Louis went a little bit too fast on the front end. Yeah, 46. Yeah, I mean, that was a good ride. I mean, the horse wanted to go, and I think that was the plan, obviously. But with that rail, I mean, almost nearly won, but just a little bit too quick.
We've just eaten so much chalk today.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal, man. I mean, went 20, almost 24, but then went 46 just over. I mean, that tough ends up getting second. My one didn't run. No bueno for me. You both are alive, so good luck. Even though it's going to be chalky, you got to get a winner sometimes. So
Yeah, I'm guessing that the pick 5 pays for a 50-cent ticket about $50 if the
I
5
would be
wins.
you might even get less than that, to be honest, man. You might be getting in like the 30-35 range.
And the pick 6 is probably even worse.
Yeah, I mean, chalky day. I wondered. I thought it might be like that's one of those tickets where you like roll it for like $5 and a bunch of favorites, man. All right, we got Razor. Is a pleasure, brother. I'm glad you joined us. I'm gonna stop by and say, is your show on YouTube or where's it at tonight?
Yeah, it's on YouTube if you just search Pub Sports Radio.
Okay. What time?
7 o'clock Eastern, we pop off. We go till about midnight.
Okay, nice. I'm on Pacific time, so it's early for me.
Oh, nice. Nice.
All right. It was a pleasure to have you on. We appreciate it. Any parting words, best bets, anything left you want to share for the weekend?
Yeah, appreciate you guys for having me on. It's a pleasure. I'll come on anytime. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Razor Sharp Picks. I'll be on YouTube tonight at 7 o'clock, covering everything: basketball, NBA, hockey, and horses. Also, I have a $200 Cash App giveaway on my Twitter. So if you go to my Twitter and you guess the final score in the FAU Memphis game, all you got to do is comment down below on the post. And if you guess the right score, you could win $200 in Cash App money. So follow me on Twitter, Razor Sharp Picks. And it's been awesome, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, brother. It was a pleasure.
No, and I want to say we appreciate Razor coming on as a guest. We've wanted to have him on for a long time, and he was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, perfect timing too, Oldy. We talked about it. It's like, hey, NBA or NCAA tournament here. I got Vermont is down by 10, so they were hanging around for a while, but I'll be curious what happens here. But what you are live to your 5 single, Oldy.
Yep.
At Gulfstream, and then at Laurel, you are also live. So you are crushing me today for sure.
Well, crushing in the way of chalk eating. I also hit a very chalky pick 5 at Oaklawn. But let's see. So I'm 6 through 9 here. So let's see how bad the will pays are at Laurel.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't surprise me. I'm not doing well because it's been so chalky. But I hope you still get your ticket home.
Well, I'm hoping for the 6 or 7 because that either one of those come closer to break even.
This race, I mean, we talked about this one earlier, is a bit rough.
And that looks like well, with the exception of the 6 and the 7, the pick 6 is worse than the pick 5 too at Laurel. So it must have been chalky that first leg too.
Mm-hmm. There's Razor. Check him out tonight. I'm going to stop by you all. NCAA basketball tonight. I think it's going to be an exciting night. Yeah. I don't know how much excitement we'll have here during the day. I was trying to look at the scores, Oldie, but what do we have? So did St. Mary's win? Is that game over?
St. Mary's won. Yep.
That's good. I had them. So my bracket is still just chugging along. What else?
Iowa State's made a run and is only down around 11 right now.
I mean, Marquette up by 8. So that game's fairly close, but nothing too exciting. St. Mary's won by 12. And yeah, they're only down by 9, man. They're going to come back. That would have been at 22-2. That would have been worth a bet for sure.
Well, if I wanted to help Pittsburgh along, I would say they're going to come. Iowa State's going to come back because Jeff Capel's a bad coach. All right, so give me one. I'm going to take a quick pit stop here in between races since I have not gotten up since the show started, and I will be right back.
John, I'm not sure. We can ask him when he comes back, but you're good, Oldie. Scott, do we have time to get to Oaklawn? It may have already gone off.
But I'm fine to try to look, but I think we might be out of time. You all tell me, did it already go? It says 0 minutes to post, but well, they're approaching the gate. Pick 4, but we won't get that anywhere close to that. Oaklawn. 2-horse. EquinEdge long shot, always dangerous there. The track is dry. They're loading. The 3-horse is interesting just from the fact that this horse is even money on the morning line, and it's the top EquinEdge pick. At the same time, it's one of the top GSRs and has the top SOR at the surface and distance. So if I needed some quick action, I'd bet the 3 is they're about to go. I will. We can't watch it, but I'll turn it on. You all can listen.
They're in the gate. And they're off. Off to an excellent start. Ship It Red showing speed with on the inside Best of Greeley. And then 3 deep comes City Rage. Followed a length and a half back by Jerry's 80. He's 4th. Colonel Kling 5th. Meet Joe is racing in 6th. And trailing the field is Papa Rocket. Down the backstretch, it's Best of Greeley, Ramsey Zimmerman, sharing the lead here with Ship It Red and Francisco Arrieta. Best of Greeley.
2-horse EquinEdge long shot is running really nice. Those are the 3.
Outside of him, City Rage sits outside the vet pair in 3rd. Jerry's 80. Colonel Klink on the inside.
5 is just sitting the trip, to be honest.
Quarter of a mile to the finish. Best of Greeley has the lead half length. Ship It Red, the Arizona is alongside. In behind them, Colonel
3 not going to run, though. 7 is flying, is the 5-2.
Rocket gaining ground and shifting inward with City Rage in the yellow as Papa Rocket has gone to the lead. Keith James Aspen and Ship It Red, and they're fighting for second as they come to the finish. It's Papa Rocket. He's going to clear late. Ship It Red.
7-horse wins Oldy at Oaklawn. Papa Rocket. I've heard that horse. That horse has been around a bit.
Did you hear the announcer called him Keith James? Did you hear that, Oldie?
I did hear something like that. This is that new announcer who took over for the Goof.
Yeah, the Goof no longer part of Oaklawn Park Racing.
Too much Goof, not enough roof is what I like to say.
I do agree. Yeah. Oh, was the 7 the second? Oh, it was, Rodney. Good call, man. Yeah, I was, what it comes, 7-2. I think it came EquinEdge picks. I think the 3 got 3rd. 7-2-3, it looks like. The 3 got 4th. I was watching the video here. All right. Where are we at? We got Laurel Park, Oldie. Yep. So you are a live to 6, 7, 8, 9. There's your ticket. Well done. I hope that the 6 wins for your sake because it's the longest price. So I'm guessing is your best will pay.
The 6 and the 7 are the decent like make your money back will pays.
Well, good.
I feel like I need a shirt that says I hit X number of pick 5s and all I got was this dumb t-shirt. Because that's the way it feels right now.
Buffalo Mike, I'm not surprised to hear that. That would have been a
great bet. I mean, to be honest, there's no way somebody's going to be
Ed, he just gotta be careful what you say on social media, would be my comment about the Goof. All right, Oldie, let's get it, brother. I want to see you get this home, so at least one of us gets a winner today.
And the other thing that I'll mention at Iowa State was when you were gone, Razor and I looked up the live odds, and Iowa State on the money line was only plus 208.
Yeah, I wonder because at this point they're going to become the they will become a favorite shortly. They're only down by 7. So, like, they'll get ahead of that. But when they were down by 20, I'm guessing you could have got at least 10 or 15 to 1.
Not like I said, it was plus 208 on the money line.
When they were down 20?
Yes, we were.
Oh, well, that's wild. I'm not sure how that's possible, but I mean, I guess it is because they're obviously coming back and you weren't able to get much of a price. So
Cammy Rochelle and Irish Lace.
Vermont's hanging in there versus
Let's Make a Zine.
Oh no, they're not. They're down by 14. They were hanging in there. That was short-lived.
Golden Blossom.
I feel like we're getting a lack of good games right now.
And Destined to Dance.
Creighton and NC State just tipped off. Maybe that'll be a good one.
Briefly, Destined to Dance.
I thought NC State had a shot in that matchup, to be honest, but we will see.
Best worst idea, even money.
Maybe the best worst idea. Interesting. Maybe the Oldy. I think the good games are coming this evening.
I hope so.
And they're off.
Wow, 6
Five-star
with the
friend
flyer.
quick away from the gate.
6.
Irish Lace, best worst idea on the outside, and Cammy Rochelle all chasing
No,
now.
with the 6
And
is
Hazard to the inside. Gate
the
is up
favorite.
there
We
in the
don't-
second flight too. The gray
Wasn't
is
it?
Destined to
No,
Dance.
6-7.
Another 4 or 5
We
lengths
won
back.
6-7.
Let's Make a Zine and Golden
Horse
Blossom
is going
are
to
the two in the back
not
as they
stay
race
on
down
the
the
lead
back
though, and
stretch.
let the 9
Best
get the
worst
lead.
idea will go on to take the lead from 5-star friend is back second
Makes
on the
no sense to
inside. The
me.
lead is about now 3/4 of a length. And so it's
Yeah,
best
I don't
worst
know
idea
either.
going on with it with 4.5 furlongs left to run from
I mean,
5-star
the
friend
9.
second. Cammy Rochelle is third on
Vilas
the
horse
outside of
3
the
to
2
5
path.
doesn't
Back to Irish
surprise
Lace
me.
up close there in fourth as they head into the far turn run. Hazard is next in fifth. It is another 3 lengths back. And Destined to Dance is dropped there to the back of the pack. Now passed to the inside by Let's Make a Zine and Golden Blossom. 3/8 from home. Best worst idea is that leader. Best worst idea from Irish Late. A length and 3/4 of the inside is 5-star Fran. Then it's Cammy Rochelle. Driven along fourth and dropping back a bit. They're at the top of the stretch. Best worst idea, the one to catch, has a 2-length lead as they turn in. 5-star
up the
friend on the
rail.
inside, willing to come back for a little more. Irish Lace is racing in third position. Very tired Cammy Rochelle. The inside, Let's Make a Zine's trying to pick up a share. And they're down to the final furlong. And it is best worst idea in front. The inside, Destined to Dance.
Eight's
Irish
gonna
Lace
get
on the
up.
outside trying to get lucky. Here's Irish Lace. Irish Lace on St. Patty's Day. Irish Lace. Irish Lace won it. Irish Lace from Best Worst Idea. The inside
That
there, third was
paid
5-star friend and Hazard. And followed by Let's Make a Zine, fifth.
What did it pay in the pick 5?
92.50.
No.
Actually, no, I'm wrong. 96.50.
Could have been
97.50.
worse.
I can't add right now, but yeah.
You got it home though. That's good. All right. Here's your single, Oldy. The one horse at Santa Anita Park.
Did not expect him to be 3 to 5.
Yeah.
On this day of winning and losing.
What'd you say?
I said on this day of winning and losing. I mean, winning but losing.
Race the pace.
Looks like Aqueduct race
Oh,
7
so
just went off. I'm just looking. There's a horse
edge in here
at 15 to 1 on the lead there.
drawn up before the
It
scratch.
looks like the favorite's going to go
She's the
right
number
by.
2, and she'll give you a little bit of value. Righteously, the number 4, rather a heavy-bodied mare. She is now 5 years old. She doesn't really look too much like a square eddy, but we know those square eddies will run on any surface. The track here, the main track listed as fast. They are turning around and heading to the gate. Bella Ranella, the favorite.
Something relaxing about that accent. It's like Mary Poppins is talking to you.
I do agree. John, I don't know. You can send me a note on Twitter, man, and I'll try to help you out. My Twitter name's right there. It's just my full name. So let me see what I can do. All right, man. They're loading, Oldie. Good luck, brother.
Flatter with Jules going in. Here's the favorite, Bella Ranella. Righteously coming up. Sailing Along is next. Tropicana Girl and Rain Diva. They're off. Tropicana Girl and Bella Ranella. Here's Rain Diva in the red colors, vying for the early lead too. Righteously moves up to take third in between rivals, and Flatter with Jules is only 3 lengths off the lead, 4 in front of Sailing Along. It's Rain Diva to the half-mile pole, a length and a half in front of Tropicana Girl. Bella Ranella moves up willingly at the rail, in hand third. They're followed by Righteously fourth, 2.5 off
And
the
got
pace.
the pace to run
At the
into.
rail, Flatter with Jules asked to pick it up. Now 6 off the leader.
Don't know if it's going to be good
2 in
enough
front of
off
Sailing
the.
Along, who inches up a bit. Rain Diva coming toward the quarter pole. In front by under a length to Tropicana Girl in second. At the rail, Ranella just waiting for room in third. Followed by Righteously in fourth.
Come up
And
the
then
rail.
Sailing Along, top of the stretch. Bella Ranella will cut the corner as Rain Diva continues
You're
to
gonna
lead
be
with a
hard to
furlong
catch.
left to go and not done yet. Rain Diva clinging to the lead. Bella Ranella having to steady
He doesn't
while
want to
trying
come
to
up
get
the
through that
rail.
hole.
Well, didn't want to come up the rail because the
Tropicana
2
Girl
came
in the
over.
meantime up to take the lead, and it's
Look at the horse.
Tropicana Girl to win it. Tropicana Girl.
The horse is loaded.
Tight photo. That is.
I don't like that. I mean, I don't know. He waited way too long. I mean, maybe the 2 came over, like you said, but I don't understand why. I don't. Who was it? Maldonado. I mean, he's obviously a super experienced jock, but I don't know why he waited. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's very hard. I mean, the one I think wins. That's a bad trip. I mean, I guess the only thing would have been to try to come outside. The horse never, ever wanted to come up the rail. And then you can see the horse's ears just pin back, man, when the horse finally gets out and wants to fly.
Yeah. I mean, if he came out earlier, that horse wins easily.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, man. Well, sorry. The horse probably does win easy. You know, anybody who had the 7, you get 9-1. I thought I spread that race, Oldy. I did think it was going to be difficult, and then singled the chalk in the next. But we will see what happens. You have Gulfstream though, race number 9. You are single to the 5. So what's the will pace to the 5, Oldy?
The will pace to the 5 is $58.
Well, you call
no,
it.
Wait, hold on. I'm looking at the pick 4. Pick 4 is $58. $60.05 is the plus 4 out of 5s would be the pick 5.
Yeah, I mean, you call it. I thought it might be in the $30 range, but you at least called that spot on. We got 6 minutes till Gulfstream. Let's see here. Anything else? Well, that's the next race, so that's where we're gonna go.
Let's just make sure there's nothing that. Yeah, there's nothing. It was worth a quick look. Looks like Tampa's a little behind that.
Mm-hmm.
And Sunland is running quarter horses. There is an interesting horse there. Jess's Sweet Intention, second choice, 16%. top pace by 8 points, which is a lot for a quarter horse.
Yeah, let's go
But-
there. Quarter. I mean, somebody mentioned earlier the system is really good. I mean, so the one horse, right? 0 for 10 trainer jockeys. This who you were talking about, Oldy?
Yeah, and 0 for 13. I mean, Malton, these are not, I don't know how this is a maiden special weight, but
State, it's a state bred even too, man. I mean, New Mexico breds here. I mean, this horse is, I mean, you look here, has 5 second place finishes. So been racing at 400 yards, gets a bit of a cutback here, is on the rail, which I wouldn't necessarily concern me. Horse ran a big race back here in a 44 and a maiden special at Ruidoso at 350 yards. So, ran second after maybe a DQ, ran some seconds. And then, all I would say is all of this, right? These races are insanely too tough.
Yeah.
Like, they've been trying to get this horse into trials, and then they ended up, I mean, maybe the conditions or whatnot at Ruidoso, but this horse comes off a big layoff now as a 4-year-old, just never got up. They never dropped the horse in class, but it's going to get easier, Oldie, here at Sunland Park, I would guess.
And it does have that bullet work on January 28th as well, coming off the layoff.
Mm-hmm.
And it has one of the Ortiz brothers as its jockey.
Yeah, it's
Jose's riding.
Jose took the jet from Gulfstream and just jetted right over to ride Jess Sweet Intention at Sunland Park.
Exactly.
Scott, what do you mean? I don't know. Do you mean when I've had a jockey ride a horse I own? I don't know. I don't feel like they ever really say anything bad. Usually it's just trip. The other horse is better. They don't necessarily never had anybody be like, I should have rode better, or hey, I should have gotten out earlier. But I have not I've only owned 3 horses and limited interaction after a race. That interaction is going to be much more with the trainer. Oh, instructions? I mean, I don't know what you mean. Do you know what he means, Oldie?
I have no idea. No.
Scott, you
where
have to
he's going here.
Scott, keep explaining. I mean, there's probably unlikely no instructions where come up the rail, right? I mean, I think that Maldonado was just kind of forced there because he didn't want to go wide. And then that horse definitely was not going to come up the rail. It had no plans on doing so. Which, I mean, it was a bad trip. I wouldn't say it's Maldonado's fault. I think it was just the trip he was given by sitting off the pace. And then he didn't want to go wide, right? So you're either going to go wide or you're going to go on the rail. And he tried to go up the rail, I think was just, he got out too late would have been my only comment. But not necessarily his fault or anything, so.
But I do wonder if there was, I don't know if jockeys study video like football players do, but if there's video on the rail, where maybe there was other races where the horse didn't run.
Yeah. All right, Oldie. We got Gulfstream race 9, 1 minute to post. If anybody wants a little action, I do agree with you, Oldie. This one horse, 67 pace number, big advantage. Been facing much tougher at Sunland Park. Pace figure says good. Win percent says good. EquinEdge second pick. 5 is obviously live, but that's in the middle of a 10-horse field, which obviously can be dangerous in quarter horse. Another horse, not from a pace number. This horse, the 9 horse, though, is in an outside post, 14%. But I'm with you, Oldie, on the 1. I would play something like 1 over the 2-9. Or you probably got to use the 5, to be honest. Yeah. But then, maybe play the 1 in second, too. I would expect this horse to run well. It's got 5 seconds. So I would expect this horse to win or get second place.
Yeah, I mean, on your 9 too, if that horse breaks well, I think that horse can be dangerous. It broke well first time out, but it's broken poorly ever since, and it's still almost gotten there.
Yeah, bumped off slow, steady bid. I mean, this horse could improve. I mean, that's why it's the win percent's going up. Gets a new trainer too, Oldy. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, it's saying
Either
that this horse could have as much of a risk of it breaking out too.
Yeah. All right, let's jump to Gulfstream. Oldy, you're single to the 5. Good luck, brother. I hope you get this.
Appreciate it. I hope we do. It's better than losing money, but I will tell you on the 9, I just checked the 10, and the 10 has a habit of breaking in, so I'd be careful on the 9. And the 9 keeps.
Maybe that will just help the 9. As long as it breaks, it'll just get ahead. And I'm with you on the 1 though. The 1 I think is interesting.
It'd be nice if we stopped post dragging at Gulfstream to get the money in the super high 5 pool.
Oldy, this is probably gonna be our last race, brother. Any parting thoughts before the race?
I just hope you get that. It's been, first of all, a lot of fun. Loved having Razor on, being able to talk some basketball, and kind of glance over and watch a little bit of basketball and sports betting. It's been awesome, and appreciate everybody showing up, and if it's your first time listening to us, I hope you enjoyed the show. Hit the like on your way out, and we need Dustin to hit a big one at Santa Anita to make up for all this chalk, because he's still alive there.
And I singled the chalk, man. I mean, that's a rarity, so we'll see what happens. They are somehow still wandering around behind the gate. So Ed, I don't really know, man. He posted a tweet though. I think that they just disagreed or something. I don't really know. You'd have to check his Twitter. I think he sent something. And go ahead.
1 got bet down to 7-2, so I'm staying away.
I
think it's gonna win. I don't like the price.
I think it's not bad, man. I mean, it's but I hear you. I think that's a big pace advantage, though. That horse has just been facing too tough.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I'm not a big fan of horses in the middle of quarter horse unless you can find good angles, right? And they're much the best. Which in a maiden special, I don't know how these horses can be much the best. But all right, we'll turn it over to Pete. Oldy, good luck.
Lining up, moving in, race 9 on the program, even money demurely. Safi Joseph Jr. has Edgar Zayas riding. Here's Politely Crowned. Nice card in store for you tomorrow here at Gulfstream Park. It's a 12-race afternoon that begins at 12:40. Still a lot of St. Patrick's Day festivities to enjoy in Hallandale Beach. We hope you'll do so. Muguruza drawn the outside is the last horse to move in line. We go 5.5 furlongs here with Demurely as the favorite. There, Rimigate. And runners away. The race favorite Demurely was quick into stride. She's going to try to clear, but she has problems in that department as Adios Dixie and Sophia Storm are both right alongside. So these 3 race on from the gray Bali Baby, who's away in 4th. Then Muguruza off the speed as she, ahead of Politely Crowned and Sade Purse. They make their way to the far turn with Sophia Storm in front. She has the lead. Demurely is second. They've gone 3 ahead of Muguruza, who's on to take third from Adios Dixie, who's back to fourth. Then Valley Baby, she's racing in fifth. Politely Crowned is sixth. Seventh at the rail is Sade first. Out the back are Politely Crowned and Mudshaft. They're under the top of the stretch. Sophia Storm, Demurely, and Muguruza across the course. Demurely needs to do better than that. She's working harder than the other two, and she's back racing in third. From fourth, it's Adios Dixie trying to wind it up wide as Mudshaft. Sade Purse is at the rail with 1/8 of a mile to go. Muguruza on even terms with Sophia Storm, but Sophia's got a kick, and Sophia Storm just turned away the second horse Muguruza, and she's on to a 5-2 victory. Sophia Storm.
Well, at least it wasn't a price, Oldy. That's all I would say.
That's a womp 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 womp.
Yeah. That was tough. But it's been a pleasure, man. Like, I missed you. We were, out of town last weekend, and get to tune back in, getting back into racing. Not a lot of chalk today, but what are you going to do? That's going to happen sometimes. So it was a pleasure, brother. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. It was awesome. We'll be back next Friday, right, Oldie? Same time. Are you not here? You here next week,
here.
Right?
I'm here.
Okay.
Same.
Cool. We'll be back, everybody. It's been awesome. Razor, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Everybody catch him tonight. He'll be on, I think he said 7 p.m. Eastern. Check his Twitter. It was great to have him. Good luck in your brackets. Good luck if playing any NCAA bets today. It was a pleasure. Oldie, any parting thoughts?
I hope your brackets do well. Good luck this weekend. Lots of booms, since we didn't get the boom booms today. But I'm babbling on. But just thank you, everybody. I appreciate that you guys show up and tune in for us. And let's go. Let's find some prices and make some money.
All right, brothers. Good to see you. Thanks, everybody. It was awesome. Good luck. Thanks.